And we are live here from Chicagoland Speedway, where tonight 3 drivers will have their championship hopes dashed as we cut from the round of 10 to the round of 7. It's race number 3 in the playoffs here in the In the Pits News Truck Series Season 4. Tonight's going to be a fun one. We welcome you to tonight's broadcast of the MardonPC.com 200 here at Chicago. It's going to be a fun one for sure. We got a lot of drivers ready to rip and ride around this racetrack. Dawson Allen in the booth as always. Joining me, it is Adam Kuhn, and of course our special guest. We love to have him here in the booth. The man that is beyond wisdom, Ben Smith. Guys, it is time for some cutoff action here. For the first time in the Pits News Truck Series history, a playoff elimination race. How do we think it's going to go tonight?
Well, 3 drivers are going to get a little bit of heartbrokenness from this race, and it might be a little bit dramatic. This is going to be an exciting race, I think, Dawson. We always look forward to the mile and a halves here in the Pits News Truck Series because they're usually some of the best product we see on Saturday nights.
I agree with you, Adam. Cutoff races always bring drama. We see it in real life in the top 3 divisions of NASCAR, and I suspect we'll see it here today. We got 2 drivers who could probably point their way in, depending on how things play out. And then we got 1 guy outside looking in David Duran, who basically needs to win to get in.
And we'll take a look at those standings here. You can see on your screen, that's what we were talking about. We got 2 drivers, though, that are going to have no worry. Maybe even just 3 drivers that are going to have no worry and let it roll off their back. Tristan Maher, Cameron Caldwell, your 2 most recent winners here in the Pits News Truck Series. They have locked themselves into the round of 7. But then you see down at the bottom, you see where David Duran minus 24. He's going to have an uphill battle. But Michael Kruger as well, 3rd in points, up 47 above the cut line. Very likely going to lock it up here tonight with the way things are going. And how many we got in the field tonight? So we will see how this plays out. As we take a look and keep looking, you can see Michael Walls, Brett Bennett are those drivers that are also on the outside looking in. Practice underway here. Drivers getting that last little bit of practice in. I see a name that we haven't seen in a little bit here. Josh Arnold. One of those guys making a return here tonight. It's been a while since we saw that 22 truck out on track, but it's good to see him back out here. Of course, he is currently on top of that best of the rest, as we showed you in the points graphic, but looking to see if he can keep building that points gap and just keep on rolling here towards that best of the rest title.
Yeah, we mentioned the best of the rest title last week at Bristol, I should say. Of course, began at Pocono again. Josh Allen with Andrew Elias going to be a very close battle because Josh, like you mentioned, did not race last week at Bristol, so trying to rebound after taking that provisional last week, and it's going to be a tall task for him tonight at Chicagoland. It's going to be a good race, but Dawson, looking at the leaderboard right now, all of the top 10 are pretty much all playoff guys, save for Andrew Elias, with a great run in 2nd right now, and Ryan Bogey in 8th.
Yep, and you can see some of those names up there. One of them up there currently 4th fastest, sitting on pit road, doing something here. That's David Duran. Of course, we mentioned it last week. Was not able to make the race at Bristol, so that puts him 10th in the playoff standings. He currently sits 24 points down to that 7th place cutoff line, so that 24 machine is going to have some work cut out for him if he wants to advance this next round. It's not like he can't make it without pointing his way in, but it's likely going to be the toughest road, having to try to gather as many points as he's going to need on the cut line to get himself into that next round.
And converse that, Dawson, with at the top of the leaderboard, where if we take a look at the playoff standings from the top, I mean, Tristan Maher and Cameron Caldwell are both already won and locked in. Mikey Kruger basically locks in from just firing up the engine. And then looking at the entry list right now, I think we're at like 22, 23 trucks entered. So that would virtually lock Alonso Chicano in as well, being with under 27 trucks entered. So pretty much those four are playing with house money. They can roll the dice on strategy and try to push the issue and make it interesting and for those guys at the cutoff line and make them sweat a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a big thing about just making them sweat, and we'll pull this up here. Brand new function. Thank you, Cameron Caldwell and C2 Graphics, for this one here. We have got our own playoff cutoff line showing up here, so you can see and follow along accurately as to who's in and who's out. You can see on the top of that, on the right-hand side of your screen, we have two drivers that have advanced, that being Tristan Maher and Cameron Caldwell, as we see that 12 machine mentioned winner 3 weeks ago at Pocono. He is locked in, and he's going to turn Alonso there. But we mentioned, he is locked in to the next round. The other driver locked in is the 69 truck. That is Tristan Maher there, rolling off of pit lane. He was the winner just last week at Bristol. So he has punched his ticket.
And then as for the other guys who are there on the green graphic, obviously I just mentioned Kruger and Chicano, but then you got guys there who are pretty good in points right now. Two of them are fairly good, but still would need to make sure they don't make any mistakes in David Duran and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. And then you got one guy who's in right now by only 6 points, who's going to have to sweat it right now, and that's Alex Kerfan.
Yeah, Alex Kerfan is coming in tonight with at least an ace up his sleeve. By virtue of where we're racing at here tonight, we'll get the camera on our buddy there, Alex Kerfan, just coming off of pit road as he rolls right now. But he is our most recent winner here at Chicagoland, winning the playoff opener in Season 3 at this very racetrack. So, I mean, he's not in a comfortable spot per se, only being 6 points to the good, but he's comfortable in the sense that he's coming to a track that he's won at before.
Yeah, that's gonna be... Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like Dawson mentioned, winning here last season, and it's going to be a lot of good memories, but he just has to keep his head down and not focus too much on that and try and just focus on the points on hand tonight, Dawson, because we have seen his luck, unfortunately, this season, and it hasn't been the best. We always talk about it, and Ben, he just needs to have a clean night and not have to worry about 6 points the entire night and just have to get through that first stage and hope it's a little bit of a bigger cushion.
I agree with you, Adam. Like, whoever can, if any of those guys there, whether they're below or above the cutoff line, to get stage points in that first stage, and they're going to be racing real hard for it to get to lap 38, is going to really change the dynamic. And folks at home will see as Dawson will update the that playoff tracker at the end of the stage. Those stage points could mean life or death for some of these guys. Because for a guy like, say, for example, Justin Duran, if he was to win the stage and win it big with the other guys, a lot of the other guys below the cutoff not getting any points, that could virtually lock him in as well. So there's a whole lot of scenarios that are going to be at play in this throughout the race.
Yeah, we're going to be watching a lot of stuff. Another driver, like we mentioned, we're going to be watching right there on the outside looking in is Michael Walls. Currently 8th in the standings. He came into this playoff with 2 wins to his name, but tonight he's going to have to try to claw from the outside looking in. His playoff run so far, though, has been anything short of dramatic with the issues at Pocono that he had with Brett Bennett, Alex Kerfan, that put them behind the 8 ball. Then to last week at Bristol, the run-in he had with Ethan Fonseca Moreno, trying that late block, which wound up getting him turned and wrecked and knocked him back to 18th in the running order. This number 7 machine is really going to need a good night tonight to have to recover and rebound from those bad runs he had the past 2 races.
Yeah, Dawson, with those incidents this month that you've mentioned, That is a little worrying, and the 6 points is a little concerning, but I think he can point his way in on 6 points over Alex Griffin tonight. The thing is that I'm a little bit worried about is that he kind of joined in the session late, not a lot of practice laps, and he's half a second off the pace right now. Alonso Chicano set, and 3/10 off of his playoff rivals right now, and he's 21st on the leaderboard. Obviously, just practice, and he can get in the rhythm really quickly here in quality in the race, but it could be a long night for the 7 truck.
We'll have to see, but I mean, the big thing too of this track, it's kind of draft assisted for a lot of these laps now. It's all about getting a drift and catching a wave from the truck ahead of you to really be able to pull you up and give you a chance to really. Yeah, that was a drift. There was a draft. There's a little bit of everything there for Michael Walls, but yeah, it's all about just.
Brandon Havens by a millimeter too, who was shifting big time there.
Another thing, gentlemen, that's going to play out in this is tire wear. Tire wear is going to play a factor, as well as possible fuel strategy, depending on when any potential cautions fall as well. We've seen that happen at the intermediates during the course of this year, and I fully expect that to be a factor today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But looking through the top 10 is Michael Walls. Wrecks himself at there. You see the 47 of Brett Bennett rolling off of the pit lane. There he goes. 10 points out in 9th right now. Still has an opening to point his way into the next round. He was kind of putting the 8 ball. Excuse me. He was put down in the hole. You know the euphemism I'm trying. You know the phrase I'm trying to say. Behind the 8 ball. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm struggling on my words tonight. But he was behind the 8 ball when he came into Bristol due to the incident at Pocono with Michael Walls that took him out of contention. But right here tonight, he is looking to go out there and shock the world and get his first career win here in the Independence News Truck Series. But like I said, he's also got a pretty good route to getting himself in. I mean, he's not been bad at Chicagoland by any means. He has got a good record at this track. It's just a matter of being able to execute it, going out there, and finally putting it in victory lane maybe. So we're going to keep our eyes on this driver other number 47, Brett Bennett. He's got a good shot tonight, looking through just to see if anybody's making any special starts tonight. Brett Bennett is making his 65th career start. He is officially 1 start behind Alonso Chicano and Alex Kerfan for the most starts in the Independence News Truck Series league history. Just your fun fact. I know everybody loves hearing these fun facts about Brett. His long history of running in this league and his long history of not winning. Especially. But he's got a good chance tonight. I mean, he's had some good runs at Chicagoland before, so we'll see if he can try to replicate those tonight and go out for a chance to punch his ticket to the round of 7.
Well, we've seen with Brett Bennett, he basically had to perform well in the Talladega doubleheader and was outside. I believe, if I remember correctly, Dawson, he was outside looking in going to that, and he pulled it off and managed to get himself in. So if there's one guy who knows how to do well in a cutoff situation like this, it is Brett Bennett. And he's sitting 6th right now on that speed chart. Obviously, he's behind one of the guys he needs to get past, which is David Duran. But putting up some respectable times there. He's about a 10th and a half off what Alonso Chicano is running. And even closer than that to David Duran, one of the guys he needs to stay ahead of.
And speaking of a Durand, we'll talk about the other Durand that's on the plus side right now. That is the number 5 of Justin Durand, currently 5th in these playoff standings. He's got 18 points over that 8th place spot right now. But he's coming off a hot season in Season 3. He really kind of cooled off here. Only the 1 win earlier this season at Michigan. But he's still looking to continue this quest for a championship. He came close in Season 2. Season 3, he was the 3rd best. I mean, he had to play third fiddle to both Jonathan Parker and Michael Kruger, but Justin was still there, keeping pace with him at the end with 3 wins in the season. So keep your eye on this 5 truck as well. 4th in points right now, or 4th in the practice, 5th in standings right now. He's going to be somebody to watch as well.
He was one of the dominant trucks at Bristol, and then he had some had a couple of run-ins with Michael Walls that put him back a little bit. But then, as we talked about Walls, he got into got into Ethan Fonseca Moreno later in that race, and Duran was able to recover nicely to where to still have a points cushion there.
Well, as practice is almost up, we are about ready to get into qualifying, and the big thing about this is going to be that bonus point. for whoever gets it, whoever's able to swoop in and get that bonus point out of tonight's race. The first one will be up for grabs here shortly. 55 is the max you can get in a race, whether it be from getting the pole and dominating the race, or it be from starting out back and then coming up and dominating the race. 55 is the max that you can get, so we'll see if anybody can try to get that max and try to get up there and go to war with it. But qualifying is over, or practice is over, excuse me. We're going into qualifying. Alonso Chicano fastest, Andrew Elias the only, or two only non-playoff drivers. There's Elias and Arnold, 2nd and 9th in the speed charts. But now we go to qualifying here for the In the Pits News Truck Series. MartinonPC.com 200. And just kind of looking to see who our first taker of these playoff drivers is going to be. Michael Kruger sliding it, coming out of pit lane. It's number 14 machine. We talked about him at the start of the season. Kind of had him pegged as a championship favorite, but he's been kind of quiet since his 2 wins. He's not been up there, winning races, but he's been contending. But even then, it's just been kind of a different back half of the season for this 14 team.
Yeah, Dawson. He's been in the hunt to win other races. The big difference maker has been either he gets behind on strategy. We saw one occasion at IRP where he kind of overdrove the car a little bit. But even when he does make those mistakes, he's still staying in the hunt. He has speed, so I'm not all that worried about Mikey Kruger. I think he has a shot at getting a win at some point during these playoffs.
Well, we're going to keep our eyes on it as he makes his first lap time. It's going to be a 31.158. That's the first time on the boards. Some more lap times continue to trickle in here. Andrew Elias goes 2nd fastest, then Jacob Locklear. I think Ryan Bogey had an issue. He is slow after setting his first lap, so that number 21 machine likely not going to set a lap time. Looks like we got another fast stop there. Jake Scarborough, 31.513. Dakota Knoll had a 31.073, but it did not count. Not sure what happened, but there goes our fastest time there at 30.942 by Jamie Wright. Then immediately gets topped back by Michael Kruger with a 30.724. So he will take the top time on the top spot on the charts. So let's look back here at the 86th. That is Brian Haynes, of course, Mr. Mardon PC himself. He is the very reason you get to see the racing on JCTV like you do. His Mardon PCs are what power our streams here on JCTV. So just keep that in mind anytime you need any kind of computers or maybe any other special equipment for your PC, for your sim racing needs. Check out MartinonPC.com. I don't have a code. Sorry, I can't give you a code. Maybe if you tell him you came from JCTV, maybe he'll give you something. But we'll see. But I noticed too, Brett Bennett just jumped to 2nd fastest on the charts as well, 30.770 for the 47 machine. And then immediately, it looks like Brian Haynes is going to jump up to 2nd there with a 37.37. So Brian Haynes will go to the 2nd fastest on the charts. We'll go back to another driver, another playoff driver. That is the 5 of Justin Durant. A lot of guys out on track right now at this time, including Michael Walls, Dakota Knoll still out there, Alonso Chicano, Josh Coppernell, David Duran, Joshua Arnold, Tristan Maher, Nathan Fuller, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno, as well as Cameron Caldwell. A lot of guys out there turning lap times now.
Yeah, a lot of movement up on that board, Dawson. Justin Duran's first lap clocks in at 11th.
The first lap is going to be slower than the second lap. It's just a matter of how they put down this second lap here. And we're watching this number 5 machine. Smooth operator getting it through the track. And we'll see how he gets at the line, what he'll score. The stripe, 30.722. That's good for the pole for the number 5 machine as it stands right now. But we got other drivers still yet to log their second lap. That includes Alonso Chicano as he makes his way out of 4. With all those bobbles, I don't know if he's going to improve his time. Indeed, he does not. So he will not be able to top the speed charts. Looking back at some other drivers there. Cameron Caldwell goes 4th quickest. Tristan Maher 5th. Josh Arnold gets up there. This is Ethan Fonseca Moreno up to 4th. Michael Walls is 11th. Andrew Elias sitting on pit road. just chilling out. But it looks like the last driver we got on track, got to try to set a lap time, is going to be Matthew Stotts. He should have enough time to get both laps in here, crossing with 30 seconds at the line. 31.555 for his first lap. Can the 17 machine make it around and get his second lap, and will it be enough to try to take the pole from Justin Durand? He will come out of 4. He's going to have enough time at the stripe. He's going to hit it at a 30.857. It's not enough, so we have our first bonus point of the night going out to the 5 machine of Justin Durand. But let's take a look at your starting lineup here, presented by Mardon PC. Starting on your pole position tonight is going to be the 5 of Justin Durand. To his outside is Michael Kruger. Then starting in row number 2 is Brian Haynes and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Row 3 sees Cameron Caldwell and Tristan Maher, 2 winners of the past 2 weeks, locked into the next round. Then Brett Bennett, Alex Kerfan, those 2 drivers on the outside looking in tonight's race. Then David Duran and Nathan Fuller round out your top 10.
Starting 11th is Michael Walls, and on his outside is Joshua Arnold. Matthew Stotts qualified 13th as we just saw. He starts alongside Ryan Bogey in the 21 truck. Jacob Locklear qualified 15th in the 84, and Jamie Wright starts alongside him in the 00. And Kyle Reuter starts on row number 9 in that 9 truck alongside Jake Scarborough in the 53. And Alonso Chicano starts towards the rear of the field tonight in that 25 Silverado alongside Andrew Elias in the truck.
And for the last 2 rows, we have in row 11, Josh Coppernoll and Matt Steiner, excuse me. And then we have in row 12, we have Dakota Knoll in the 55, and then riding shotgun in the field, we have Havens in the 40.
Brandon Havens making a return to the field for first time. Well, take a look at your race analysis here. It's going to be 150 laps for 229 miles. It's lap 38 to the stage, and of course, last season's winner was the 30 of Alex Kerfan. Partly cloudy skies, and it's going to be a 71-degree track temperature, nice and cool here tonight at Chicagoland. With that, we're going to go with our picks to win in tonight's race. Adam, who do you have as your pick to win tonight's race?
I'll go with the guy who won our first trip to Chicagoland Speedway back in Season 2 en route to his championship. Doesn't need a fantastic night 10 night, but Alonso Chicano trying to get championship number 2 and advance his way in. I think he's going to get it done tonight in Chicagoland.
And what says you?
I'm going to go with the long shot pick for the sake of the drama. I'm going with David Duran. I think he's going to get the win and sneak his way into the next round of the playoffs.
It seems like we are all in agreement on the same team. It's just a matter of different drivers. I'm going to go with the number 5. I'm going to go with the other Durand. How about Justin Durand to win tonight's race from the pole? I say that 5 machine is going to be the one to win it all here tonight. Those are your JCTV picks to win. So as they make their way down the back straightaway, we're going to try to keep the points as updated as possible.
Heads up, guys, we had a penalty last week that never got called for Ethan Fonseca Moreno, so watch for that 43 truck starting outside row number 2 to hit pit lane on the first couple laps here to serve that pass-through.
That is correct. We mentioned it last broadcast, that EOL penalty that he was going to have. So keep your eyes on this 43. See what he can do. Pace car's off. We got 150 laps here at Chicagoland, and the green flag is going to fly. The cutoff race for the first round of the playoffs is underway.
About even for Duran and Kruger. Kruger got a slight edge on the outside.
Oh, Caldwell gets into Bennett. He saves it. Brett Bennett's going to fade back, hitting David Duran there. Bennett did not need down on the start. He fades back now all the way to 16th, but he's able to cover up, save it, and keep it rolling. But that's going to be costly for now as he drops back. Ethan Fonseca Moreno, however, he's going to drop back as well. He's dropping back because he's got to serve that drive-through penalty for missing the choose cone at Bristol. We called it out, so that 43 machine is going to be in a hole. He's going to have to dig himself out of it here tonight. But hoping a quick yellow can bring him back up to the field and back into contention. We'll kind of keep our eyes on that 43 and see where he blends out. But a battle for the lead between Michael Kruger and Justin Durand. Kruger to the inside trying to get by this number 5. He's going to do it. Of course, Michael Kruger has advanced into the next round no matter what with this start. And with leading the lap that time, that is going to lock it up for sure. So Michael Kruger has advanced to the round of 7. So we've got 4 spots still up for grabs. And Brian Haynes has an issue in the back. It's a little loose, a little sideways. Kept it off the wall, but he's going to fade back to 9th now. Make it 10th, make it 11th, and maybe even back to 12th as Josh Arnold goes by. Continuing to drop back.
You mentioned that save, Dawson. That could have been a much bigger issue for Brian Haynes, especially being up there in the top 10 with all the playoff guys around him. Phenomenal job hanging on to that truck, and I don't think that's going to be the last of him tonight. I think he's just going to have to regroup and focus forward. As we see this battle for the lead continuing to go on, Justin Durand now looking on the outside to try and get back around Michael Kruger. It's the guy who's had the most poles this season versus the regular season champion, and now a crossover down the back straightaway.
And Durand going to go to the inside and try to get back to the lead. You see there, back behind them, it is Tristan Maher and Cameron Caldwell in 3rd and 4th. They are your 2 most recent winners in the Pits News Truck Series. They have punched their ticket into the next round, so they're just playing with house money at this point. They're out here to go for another win if they can get it. Or just maybe even play spoilers, some of these other guys that are racing for a chance at this. And Cameron Caldwell a little sideways off of 2 there.
Austin, you think we were looking at an IndyCar race out here with the how big of a suck up these trucks are getting on each other in the draft?
Oh, absolutely. They pull up so quickly, and they're able to get right up there with each other and running this nice tight pack for a while. And once the tires start to wear out and everything, that's when you really start to see the field spread out a little more.
We see these top 2 continuing to go side by side for this race lead. It's a 7-truck breakaway, and just behind them in 9th is Michael Walls, trying to get that spot from Jamie Wright. Can't do it right now, but back to the inside for the lead is Justin Durand through turns 3 and 4, and he's going to clear him onto the front straightaway.
Clear him for now. What does Kruger do? Goes back to the outside, trying to get back by the 5 machine on the outside. A truck in the wall back in the background. It is Jake Scarborough in this number 53. He got the wall there on the front straightaway. He's still kind of riding up top. Maybe some issues here for this number 53 truck as he continues to make his way around the track. You see back there a battle for 6th. Tristan Maher has dropped back. Now David Durand takes the spot. How about Nathan Fuller making a charge up to the front, up to 3rd already from the drop of the green flag, up 7 spots.
Shoving Cameron Caldwell a little bit wider than I think he wanted to there down the front straightaway.
See Caldwell kind of doing that higher line there, and it's giving him a lot of good momentum on exit in the turn, especially off of 3 and 4. If you can get a good draft here, you might be able to do it off of 2, and he does. He's all over the back end of Durand.
And look who he's pulling with him, the number 30 truck. Alex Kerfan's up here as well. But they're going to have to go 3 wide. Caldwell trying to do it. Durand's going to slide up and block him. That's allowed Kruger to clear for the lead for now. As we hit lap 9, they're driving it like it's the last lap.
That was a bold block by Durand. I thought that for sure that was going to cause an incident.
Caldwell. Go ahead, Adam.
Sorry, Dawson, you mentioned Kerfan closing in, but David Durand is up a few spots as well. He's up to 5th, getting by Nathan Fuller there. Driver we think it might be in a must-win scenario tonight with the point situation, so he's looking pretty solid so far in the opening 10 laps as Nathan Fuller is trying to get back to his inside. Cameron Caldwell way up the track there in turn 4, trying to use that top line that Ben was talking about a moment ago.
Cameron Caldwell needs to be very careful. I mean, he could be aggressive. He has every reason to be aggressive with the win at Pocono, locking him into the round of 7. But if he's not careful enough, he could cost, some of his teammates back behind him. Alex Kerfan, Justin Durand, David Durand, still in the hunt. You see on the right side of your screen, Kerfan coming in 6 points to the good. Durand is out 24. He needs all the points he can get. So if Caldwell makes a mistake here and takes them out just by driving aggressively, I mean, it could lead to some heated tempers in that team chat.
Well, I mean this in the most respectable way possible, but it would not be the first time.
And it looks like, based on the leaderboard, gentlemen, it looks like Scarborough has decided to retire for the day.
Yeah, in case you were unaware, the only 2 drivers could lock in outright based on finishing positions without stage points or anything. Michael Kruger had to finish 23rd or better. He led the lap and moved up to 22nd or better as David Durand knocks the wall down in the background there. But with that lap led, it pretty much locked him up to make this next round. So he's officially locked in to the round of 7. Alonso Chicano can finish 2nd place with no bonus points and make it in outright. So, just a matter of how the cards fall. But as it stands right now, Michael Kruger joins Cameron Caldwell and Tristan Maher locked into the next round.
Mentioned that moment David Durand had in the wall off of turn 4 a few moments ago. Tristan Maher made an aggressive move down the back straightaway to get past that 24, so 69 truck's trying to get back towards the front. Up to that 5th position, Nathan Fuller right there still hanging in this top 10 and 7th, and that second group of trucks have caught these leaders now.
Well, Michael Kruger had a moment, I think. He was down way low, but he gets it back together. Still fighting with Cameron Caldwell for the race lead.
I don't know how he stayed in the throttle with how loose he was there, gents.
David had a moment as well in the background. He's going to lose that spot to Nathan Fuller, but side-by-side for the lead and still side-by-side for 3rd also.
You see, right back behind him here, this battle in this pack. This is 8th place Jamie Wright leading this charge of everybody else. Michael Walls to his inside. Right behind him is Brian Haynes. Brett Bennett's right there. Alonso Chicano as well. Josh Arnold. Andrew Elias. Jacob Locklear all right here in this picture. Bennett up to 11th after that incident early on with Cameron Caldwell in lap 1. Got it back gathered up and is still trying to get into this top 10 for these bonus points. As it stands right now, no bonus points is going to hurt this 47 truck. Chicano's not going to hurt as bad without him, but as well, Ethan Fonseca Moreno being plus 17 only is really going to hinder him. You see Haynes still up the track in front of Bennett. That's going to put Haynes in the wall, maybe. Checks him up a little bit. They're going to try to go 3 wide. Chicano thinks better, gets back in line.
Yeah, and they're just 3 wide ahead of him. This is a cluster of trucks right here with David Durand slowing a couple of these guys down, I believe. Brian Haynes might be doing the same, and there you see David trying to hold on to a spot there against Michael Walls inside the top 10. To go 3 wide down the front straightaway momentarily.
Get your 3.
Part of that big pack. Sorry, Dawson.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, part of those 3 pack there, you got your 3 guys who are outside looking in right now in the points, all clustered right together, and I'm sure they're going to be very intimately aware throughout the race where the other is running.
You know, you stole the thought right out of my brain. It's exactly what I was getting ready to say, is that right here were the 3 guys that were on the outside looking in, but you took it. You said it, so that's okay. But yeah, David Durand, though, the big thing about David Durand, he is fading back through the field. He was running top 5. Now he finds himself in this 11th spot, now getting passed by Brett Bennett for it, to fade back to 12th. David Durand is struggling on this run as we're only about halfway through this stage. He is fading back quick. This 12 wrecking Andrew Elias in the wall. Jacob Locklear was part of it. Everybody else going to take evasive action to miss, but the caution is going to fly for the first time here tonight. It involves
hard hit for Elias.
It involves Locklear and Elias.
A couple playoff guys are around there as well who might have had some near misses. We'll have to take a look on the replay.
So we'll take a look at your JCTV replay.
Right earlier there, Dawson. Great minds think alike, huh?
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out here throughout the night. Yeah, you took the thought right out of my mind, it seemed. So Elias gets a little sideways here.
Ooh.
I cannot
Might have been some neck
tell. Maybe. We'll take a look.
Bogey did a great job avoiding Jacob Locklear spin down the racetrack here.
The 44 got loose there. I think it was
that looks like some pretty bad netcode there. Yeah. It's really hard to tell from up in the air as well. We're going to try to see if we can get on board with the 84 of Jacob Locklear. Take a quick look back yet again here.
Yep, there's a 44 gets loose. Right there.
Man, that is, if that's netcode, that is definitely some weird netcode. It didn't even look like they made any kind of contact or even like it reacted with Elias's truck to go sideways. So that'll do in the 44 truck for now. And Jacob Locklear as well, going to fight back and have to get some damage repaired and get some service. There you see Elias on pit lane.
You'd mentioned earlier, Dawson, before that accident happened, we had some guys that had earlier taken off, moving up the field, and started to get some separation. But then the second pack closed up to them. Gotta wonder if maybe tire wear is starting to set in for some of these guys, and some drivers are just preserving the tires better than others out there.
It's very possible, but I want to point something out here. As we look back, there's Kyle Reuter right there in the number 9 machine. He is currently 13th. That's not at all who I clicked. I actually clicked on this guy, Alonso Chicano and David Durand. They both came down pit road and took a set of tires under this caution. Ethan Fonseca Moreno as well right there with him was able to get down pit road and get some... it looks like he had a slower stop than the rest of the field, so maybe some damage he might have had as well as some tires as well. But those three there... 3 playoff drivers are going to be ones to kind of keep your eye on as this race continues. But with Shammer and Baldwell leading the field right now, as they come around to the Geico restart zone, it should be 18 laps to go in the stage. Caldwell, Kerfan, Kruger, Durand, then it's Maher, the top 5, all playoff drivers. Pace truck dives off the pit road to the Geico restart zone. The green flag's out. Back racing here in the MardonPC.com 200.
Great jump for Caldwell. Got a big push from Kerfan to make sure that they got ahead of Kruger.
Keep tabs on the new tires. Right now, Moreno is highest up in 17th. Now make that Alonso Chicano in the 17th spot in the 25 machine. He's going to try to make some magic work back in the back here. Splits the gap, and you see Moreno going to follow suit with him. Plenty of time to make their way through the field here on fresher tires and try to pick them off one by one.
Here for these guys is not only do you want to make sure you're using that tire advantage, which is we're seeing look at the run-up Chicano is getting with the tire difference, but you want to make sure you don't overdrive it to the point where you start to have to save the car and slide around too much, because then you just wear the tires out faster.
Well,
Still got about 16 laps until the end of the stage.
Yeah, but the big thing is here, you want to make sure you can capitalize on using these tires. I mean, it's very likely that if we get a late caution in this race, Chicano's going to be down on a set of tires, as is Moreno, as is David. So you've got to make the most of these tires and make them work. You see Bennett sliding a little bit right there next to Chicano. He's going to get to the outside wall, just a little bit right in front of Jamie Wright. That is for 9th. But you want to make the most of these tires, and Chicano is making the most of these tires. He is almost in the top 5, about to crack it. Now he is in the top 5. That 25 machine is on rails.
Oh, right down the front straight away.
Just casually 4 wide, no big deal.
But even when he's making those big moves like that, Dawson, he's very smooth behind the wheel with it. Like he's putting the truck in the position that it needs to be at the right time. Now because of that, he's been rewarded in just a second. I fully expect he's going to run down Caldwell here before long.
That was a great call by the 25 team to take that pit stop and take those tires there, because that's going to help them get right here for the stage contention. The other drivers that took them, they're still out back. Ethan Fonseca Moreno stuck in 15th. David Durand is 17th. They have not been able to slice through the field like this 25 has. So to see Chicano now get to the race lead, he'll take it away from Cameron Caldwell. I mean, these are valuable points that Chicano needs coming into this race. You know, just need that extra bonus. Is a wreck in the back. It's Dakota Knowles sideways sliding up. That's going to get David Durand. Brandon Havens, though, piles in. David Durand had to get in the wall, evasive action, but the caution is going to fly for the second time tonight, and it is Dakota Knoll who finds himself.
Hard hit for Knoll at the back end. I haven't seen it on board for Durand, because I think Durand, even though he had to brush the wall, but I think he just barely got past him before he hit.
And I think
Ooh.
he's lucky he didn't get hit in the rear more,
Yeah.
if at all, by Brandon Havens flying in there. Dakota No might have stopped the impact for David Duran there as we take a look at this JCTV replay, Dawson.
Oh, contact with the 22 of Josh Arnold there, and he slides. You see everybody missing, but right here it slides back up the track, and
Oh,
man, so close.
Duran just barely missed him. He definitely gonna have to do some repair for brushing the wall there, but I think it's all fixable. Yeah,
Might
right?
need some underwear change too, but you see Brandon Havens. Brandon Havens was the one that piled into the back of Dakota Knoll here. We'll take a look on board that 40 machine, but you'll see it right here. I mean, he hits Knoll. He doesn't really get into David, so David got a lucky break there, not getting involved in that one.
It's like great heads-up move by Duran to avoid that.
We're just going to look back one last time and see what might have happened to this 55 at Dakota Knoll. Contact with Josh Arnold. I feel like it's the same we saw last time, just a bad net code. Is what it looked like.
Let's see what it looks like. Yep,
Yeah.
right there. You see the net code.
Yeah, they weren't fully touching it, and then just spins around the 55, and right here just backing it down, and then just
Bam.
bang.
I agree with you guys that it does look like a bad netcode, but to me also it kind of looks like it starts with the 86 of, Brian Haynes, sorry, excuse me. He kind of slows up a little bit, loses his momentum off turn 2, and as he's turning up, it's the same time Dakota turns up, so it's just a weird angle with Brian right there, but another odd-looking crash on the back straightaway here.
I'm going to be honest with you, the way it looks like the 22 came off that corner just that little bit sideways. Tried to gather it back up and just might have just come down while Noel was trying to get up as well. And that's what does in that number 55 truck. I'll watch one more time here. You'll see it right here. Maybe not loose. Maybe just trying to follow in the draft. And either way, I mean,
right there.
Yeah, Josh Coppernoll just barely missed it, but through it all, Alonso Chicano is your race leader.
More split strategy here at the end of the stage. I was going to bring this up on that last run before that caution came out, and real quick as we get ready to restart, Dawson, this is the longest stage on a mile and a half this season at just 38 laps compared to regularly we get 35, because this is a slightly longer race, and I think that caution, the one before this one, really changed the dynamic, and I have no idea what this one's going to do. It's completely threw open that tire strategy we were talking about before.
Well, here's the stats right now. We got 10 laps to go in this stage. You have 15 drivers that did not pit under this caution. Actually, no, 13 drivers did not pit. The first one out on tires is Cameron Caldwell. He is 11th after the choose. Second out on tires is Brett Bennett, 13th after the choose. Then it's Nathan Fuller, Josh Arnold, David Rand, Matthew Stott's all back throughout the back of the field. Those that stayed out, Justin Duran, Alex Kerfan, Tristan Maher, Michael Walls, Michael Kruger, Jamie Wright, Brian Haynes, Kyle Reuter, Josh Coppernoll, Matt Steiner have yet to hit pit road. Let's see how this works out. 10 laps to go to the end of stage 1. Pace truck dives off in the field. Is in the hands of Alonso Chicano. The green flag is out. Back underway here at Chicagoland.
Look at how much grip those fresher tires give Chicano for the restart versus Duran.
Expect Ethan Fonseca Moreno to be aggressive on his little bit fresher tires compared to the guys he's racing around.
I was going to say, too, did you notice how empty that inside lane was? Nobody wanted that inside line, really. So that's what allowed Caldwell and Bennett to really pick up a bunch of spots, was the fact that nobody chose the bottom. So we'll see how it shakes out. But right now, Chicano still leading. He's got Kerfan, Michael Walls, and Justin Duran just behind him there. Tristan Maher as well in the picture. There's Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Michael Kruger, and here comes Caldwell and Bennett. Fuller not too far behind as well.
Oh, it might go 3 wide. Almost went 3 wide for second. Walskid's going to get along by Duran, I think, and then he might get by Kerfan as well.
And look at Caldwell and Bennett. The fresher tire is going to roll up into this pack. Here comes the 47 and the 12. Ooh. Oh, Nathan Fuller's going to turn Tristan Maher into the outside wall.
Oh.
Big shot to the tri-over wall, and he's lucky he didn't get hit again.
Yeah, they all stacked up there, and I think when they all stacked up, it just kind of a quarrying effect, and I freaking did get a good see of who turned Maher, but it was just a
Oh, I
deflected,
could
nobody anywhere to go.
I could tell you who turned
Nathan. Yeah.
Tristan Maher at that one. That was Nathan Fuller in the 4 machine. We're going to take a look back and see just how that happened. Nathan Fuller went from the bottom, shot all the way up to the top. I'm not too sure how that wound up with right hooking the 69 truck. We'll see here. He washed up the track right there.
Ooh.
It looks like, man, I don't know.
Did he misjudge coming down, or was it another netcode?
I'm thinking he thought he was going to come down, and he didn't come down, is what it looked like. But we're going to go take a look back from the sky here.
Such a run the 4 got.
There was no netcode there in that one. I think what it was,
Nope.
I think Fuller coming up, washed up the track there, thought the 69 was going to cut down. The 69 did not cut down, and that leads to a caution flag for the 3rd time here tonight.
Well, Maher can take solace in that he's already locked into the next round, so this race doesn't really matter much for him, so he's all right.
Yeah, he's pretty much just a throwaway at this point, but
He won't be happy about it, treating it as a throwaway, being racers, but he can at least use that as a silver lining.
It's a shame for him. He's had such an inconsistent season, Dawson. He's got the most wins on anyone this season, but hasn't been really able to click off consistent races. I mean, obviously it won't matter too much in this format as long as he can make it to Fontana, but it could be crucial if he doesn't get a win in that next round, the round of 7.
yeah, in the chase, the quest for Auto Club pretty much is what we're on the road to California. And you saw that there, though, the 69 truck, he's wrecked out, but he's wrecked, but the solace in the fact that that win came. I mean, we'll have to see how else things play out throughout tonight, and then also throughout the rest of the playoffs here. We got 3 races coming up for that next round, the round of 7, where we will cut 3 more afterwards, and we will get ourselves a round of 4. The choose cone is in effect this time. We'll just give you a quick update on that schedule here that we've got coming up in the round of 7. After that, next week, we go to Kentucky. Great track, great track. That'll be our next stop here to open the round of 7. Then we'll head to Dover. Should be a fun track to see how these drivers can manage it. A tough track in the 2nd round of the playoffs. And finally, to close out the round of 7, it's not the wild card Atlanta. It is the old Atlanta. It is the classic layout. So that should be a fun one to set our championship for, heading to Auto Club to close out Season 4.
Real race fans miss old Atlanta.
So we've got it set up here, Chicano. Then it's Kerfan. Then it's Michael Walls, Cameron Caldwell. Then there's the 5 of Justin Duran. There's Brett Bennett there in the picture. Nathan Fuller, Michael Kruger, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, and Jamie Wright. That's your top 10 heading to this restart here. It should be 5 laps to go in this stage when they get the green flag. So 5 laps to see who's going to pick up some bonus points and who's going to have a chance to really keep pushing their playoff hopes and keep this championship hunt alive. We'll see. Pace truck dives to pit road. Chicano's going to lead the field to the Geico restart zone and then launch on the gas pedal to the green flag. Back racing for 5 more laps in stage 1.
Another good launch for Chicano, but here comes Michael Walls. Taking a shot for 2nd. Gets by Kerfan. Let's see if he's got anything for the 25.
And look who else is coming. Cameron Caldwell on the fresher tires as well. He's right there in the mix. Coming to the inside of Michael Walls for 2nd. Cameron Caldwell moving to the field. Justin Duran is sliding up the track just that little bit. Might have gotten into Kerfan there. Had to get out of it. That's going to check up the 5. But he is still battling hard here.
3 wide. Here comes Brett Bennett.
Bennett trying to send it in there on those fresher tires. Can't quite get it in, but he's able to get the pass off to move Brett Bennett to 4th.
Aggressive slide job there by Bennett. Let's see. And then the top 3 are getting a little bit of separation from there because of the battling. Let's see if Bennett can get a draft up on Michael Walls close up, but it looks like we might have a battle for the lead shaping up here in a bit.
Make it 3 to go in the stage. Caldwell and Chicano, your champions from Season 1 and Season 2. They're going to do battle. Caldwell tried to force it in there. Chicano threw a block. You see back in the background, though, Bennett has cleared for 3rd. But it's side by side for the race lead. Caldwell inside, Chicano outside as they make their way to 3 and 4. But Cameron Caldwell is going to clear. 2 laps to go in the stage.
He hasn't dropped Chicano yet. Chicano may get another shot at this. He's still drafting up pretty good on the 12 there.
Oh, a little bobble from Caldwell. He's going to pull up in front and try to block that 25 machine. Caldwell going to be high on the outside. Here comes Chicano back to the inside. 1 lap to go in the stage.
Good side draft by Cameron Caldwell there to stop some of the momentum of Chicano. It's coming back on him, but it's pulling up Bennett and Fuller into this fight as well.
Caldwell goes wide. Chicano to the bottom. You see there, Brett Bennett, Nathan Fuller in the picture now. Chicano trying to keep them all at bay. Caldwell to the outside. Here we go, through 3 and 4. Who's going to get the stage win? Caldwell's not going to have enough. Bennett was right there at the end of it, but he's going to finish 3rd. Alonzo Chicano is going to win the stage.
And good, crucial points needed for Brett Bennett. The only thing is, the guys around him, Michael Wallace and Alex Griffin, also scored stage points. Not as many as he did, though, so very great news for that 47 truck. And really, what a run for the playoff guys. All the guys, save for Tristan Ma, who has already advanced in, of course, got stage points there for our playoff drivers. And what phenomenal racing for that stage win, guys. Like, Ben, you mentioned top of the show, IndyCar started racing the opening 10 laps or so. That was like an IndyCar finish, just trying to block the bottom. They're going into 2 and 3.
You love to see it, Adam, and I believe, too, with that stage win, I think that basically locks Alonso Chicano into the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take a look at your stage results, there you see the rest of the top 10, everybody who's going to score stage points in tonight's race. But Alonso Chicano picking up the crucial stage win here in his quest to try to move on to the round of 7.
And David Duran, despite brushing the wall a little bit in that earlier incident, still managed to come home 6th in that stage. Help tighten things up even more. Brandon Havens has officially retired from the race. Oh, Bennett decides to stay out.
So as we see pit stops, currently working on getting your point situations done up here. But yeah, Brett Bennett staying out, going to try to lead a lap, and that'll be another bonus point in favor of the 47 machine.
And the Fuller and Stott stay out as well.
Okay, and we will see if we've got all of these points done up right. When we get this pulled up, this should be accurate in terms of where they're all running now. We will double check and see here, but we'll hit this magic button right here, and there you have it. There is your point standings as they run right now. Where's Alonso Chicano, your stage winner? We're going to pull him in really quick and see if we can talk to him about that stage win. Hey, Alonzo, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right, well, really quickly, we're going to catch you at that stage break. You got the stage win here tonight, your second stage win on the season, but most importantly, those 10 bonus points put you at 33 points above the cut line. You're in a really good spot to advance here. What's the feeling like now for the rest of this race?
It's pretty good to get those points and lock myself in. It's nice to get that playoff point. So yeah, rest of the race is gonna be a little bit stress-free. Well, not stress-free, I should say. It's definitely a lot of stress still here, but a lot less stress for sure now that we're locked in.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get back out to it. Best of luck. We hope to talk to you here shortly.
All right, thank you.
That is your stage winner, Alonso Chicano. We'll see how things work out here. So the points shake up. How they run right now. You can see there that is without tracking their live scoring. So obviously Brett Bennett leading the race would be advanced. He is only -3 to the cut line after that stage finish. So he's got a good chance to try to point his way in. But you see there, David Duran, he's going to need a miracle. Pace truck's going to pull off, and we are going to have a restart on lap 42. Green flag is out. Back racing. Bennett launches. Fuller does not get going as quickly. And we're back racing at Chicagoland.
Yeah, very peculiar start here with the top 3 staying out, like you mentioned, Dawson. Nathan Fuller, Matthew Stotts didn't go through the gears exceptionally fast, but through 2 and 1 pretty well.
Fuller, though, going to pull up in front of Chicano. Now, Chicano mentioned he feels comfortable. He's not fully locked in. He is very much, though, on his way to locking in with how many points he's got and how far ahead of the cut line he is, and based on how many people we have still racing in this race. But see, Bennett is trying to hang on for dear life for any spot that he can keep as he continues to battle with Nathan Fuller, that left Chicano, Caldwell, now David Duran on the inside looking for third.
Chicano made short work of Bennett, given he's on fresher tires. Got Cameron Caldwell all over the back bumper of him, trying to look for some clean air here.
And you see Justin Duran
and
David Duran are nose to tail as well back there in the background. The inside, Nathan Fuller, 3 wide with Ethan Fonseca Moreno on the inside. Of course, Moreno had to serve a drive-through penalty at the start of this race. He has now finally cracked the top 5, and he is also trying to get up here and just score as many points as he can. He's plus 15 after the stage, but he'd like to make sure he's got a nice insurance policy and that he doesn't have to worry about anything.
Change for the lead off turn 2. It started with a crossover off turn 4. Caldwell gets it done for the time being, but Chicano's still right there. Going to try and do it over this time in this end of the race, checking 3 and 4. Mentioned Ethan Fonseca Moreno all the way down to the apron, cutting almost the grass down the front straightaway. Huge run into turn 1 behind these 2 trucks side by side, almost through the middle here.
And that reminds you of anything at the same track? Maybe a little Brad Keselowski move. Oh, maybe contact, though. That's not a Brad Keselowski move. As he gets to the inside of Chicano, here comes Ethan Fonseca Moreno trying to push to the race lead.
Looks a little grip off the nose on exiting 4. That's going to allow Chicano and Caldwell to come back on them. Here comes the Durans getting into this fight as well.
Moreno is pushing hard, trying to get up there and lead at least a lap to get another bonus point to his name. Chicano is going to clear for the lead again, but Caldwell going to cross him back over. And we went from about maybe 3 abreast to single file now as they all kind of get sorted back out and settle down for at least the time being. But Moreno still wants that race lead.
There's nothing settled about this, Dawson. Look at this. He's going 3 wide through the middle.
The only thing that's settled with the Durans trying to back out of this, I think, as Ben mentioned, 3 wide for the lead again. Ethan Fonseca Moreno through the middle. Can he get it done? They're just even right now entering 3.
Still side by side. Moreno is going to thread the needle for now at the line. Give the lap lead to Moreno. A bonus point to the 43 for that one. But it's still an ongoing battle between Chicano, Caldwell, and Moreno now. Justin Duran settles into 4th. Michael Walls battling with David Duran for 5th.
Boys, this is some good race. This is some good racing here. I'm sure you're both at the edge of your seat, just like I am.
Oh, you're still sitting down? 3 wide back here. David Duran up top. Michael Walls in the middle. Michael Kruger on the inside. Kruger trying to make his way through the field here.
Looks like Walls will prevail in that battle and get up to 5th. Justin Duran now is hot on the heels of Alonso Chicano now.
As they run right now, your 3 drivers that would be out, I would say, David Duran, Brett Bennett, Alex Kerfan. Michael Walls running up here. It's a good gap over the 30 truck. We're going to look back and see. In 12th place right now is Alex Kerfan. He's got a bit of a gap now behind that 7 truck. Of course, he is currently only 4 points above Michael Walls, who currently runs 5th. Kerfan is trying to get it back up there and get in the mix. Currently sitting 12th. He's on the outside looking in.
Yeah, obviously 100 laps to go at this point, 99 now to go at this point, Dawson. So we're in for a long way, but like you mentioned, if it stands right now, Michael Walls is smiling pretty good right now. He's had
David Durand! David Durand hits Brian Haynes! He's sliding! There goes, I believe, that might have been, that's Alex Kerfan! The 30 truck involved. 2 of our playoff drivers in the hunt have been involved in an accident, and the caution flag will fly again. No, still green.
Oh my goodness, that is huge. How was that not a yellow?
We're going to take a look back at your JCTV replay, but how that wasn't a yellow just shocks me. Unreal. That is going to be a tough break for David Duran and Alex Kerfan. You'll see here coming through 1 and 2. David just gets a little sideways, and right here he slides right in front of Brian Haynes. No chance to miss. He gets into Jamie Wright. They both spin down. Kyle Reuter gets hit, but more importantly there, Alex Kerfan gets hit as well.
Kerfan get the inside wall as well.
So we're going to take a look back and see here on this hit.
I don't think he did. I think he just only got the right side there.
Bam. Yeah, you're right there, Adam. He just managed to keep it straight.
But the issue is with that drops Kerfan to 20th, David Duran to 21st. Only one person, a couple people I know want to see that. That's the Brett Bennett fans out there, because that's going to help him big time with 2 of those guys that are in the mix having issues. Bennett's still going to be the first one out, but he's only got 1 more hurdle to jump if he wants to try to point his way in.
If I'm David Duran right now, he's got to be cursing like a storm on the radio at that happening.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, he
really
kind of got in a bad spot. I mean, it's nobody's fault.
Yeah,
I mean, David just had a moment there on the exit, and Haynes had nowhere to go and just lost it. So
yeah, he just lost the nose, and Haynes was just too close when he was trying to correct it.
Talked about it in qualifying. That's just unfortunately Alex Kerfan's sum of luck in this series. It's been so unfortunate for him, and he's on pit road getting that damage fix now, so he's going to go many, many laps down in this race, guys. As this battle for the lead continues to be fierce, the front of the field, Caldwell and Moreno going back and forth, trading blows with these orange trucks.
Yeah, right now it's going to be 2 laps down for Alex Kerfan. So
Haynes is still out there, just got back out 3 laps down, so depending on how long those repairs take, he may lose another spot.
We'll have to see how long it takes. But you see here, another participant in this battle for the lead. Here comes Justin Duran out to the inside. And up ahead, you see Brian Haynes. Oh, Justin's going to slide up into Moreno.
Oh, no.
A little bit of contact. They're able to save it, but you see they're trying to get by the lap car. Oh, Moreno tried to pinch him into the 86. It doesn't work.
I wonder, that looked like Justin just lost the balance of his truck there once they got, I don't know if he was far enough down in the 86's dirty air there, but as soon as they got behind him, it just shot up the track. Good save off of turn 4, and almost a good move by Ethan Fonseca Moreno to, like you mentioned, Dawson, block him off.
They kept it straight and kept it clean, so.
I think he did just lose it at him. It looked like when he got in the dirty air, he just lost the nose. And I'm going to say, too, if it wasn't for the 43 being there, I think he was going to the wall.
Well, even then, I think they just kept each other together. That wrecking is all it was, but...
Get a change of shorts for both those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Fonseca Moreno again. Shoots down to the inside. And use the apron. Let's see if he can make something happen here.
Crosses over. The 5 of Justin Duran. Now to the inside goes Moreno. And here comes Chicano now in the mix as well. And Chicano's going to actually get the wall in the background there. He'll slide. He'll bobble. Caldwell goes by for 3rd. But still side by side for the race lead.
not a gentle hit for Chicano either. And that's starting to pull some of these other guys back down. Oh, he touched the front!
Moreno comes up, almost got into Justin Duran, but he kept it off him. And we keep it rolling. These two are driving the wheels off these things, battling for this race lead.
Urban's still on pit road, so he has now been passed by Hayes. He's many laps down. I'm sure Walls and Bennett are both very much aware that this development has happened.
He just rolled off pit road. He is 6 laps down right now. It's going to take a miracle for that 30 truck to get back in the mix, but he's also got the field storming right back behind him. That'll lap him again and put him 7 laps down.
Oh, we're almost 3 wide here for the lead. Look at the run that Caldwell gets with a push from Chicano. Oh, that 12 is squirrely.
Trying to hang on there. So still battle for the lead, Moreno and Durand.
This has been great racing, boys.
And nobody wants to give an inch. It's been a hard-fought battle all night long.
Now here comes Mike Kruger and Michael Walls starting to get into this fight as well.
Rand almost slid up there in front of Caldwell. They're still side by side, 2 by 2. They go the top 4 to the start-finish line. But these guys are all battling here for these top spots. Look at who else is here in the top 10 right now. Jamie Wright right now. He was in that accident there that didn't bring out a yellow. He is currently in 7th. A great run for this number 00 truck. Shows up as number 33 for some reason. Jamie, get that fixed. How about in 9th place, Ryan Bogey coming back tonight, having a great run so far. Number 21. Of course, a winner last season at Michigan. You see Nathan Fuller looks like finally pitting, which means Brett Bennett should be soon to follow. And, of course, we mentioned Josh Arnold, currently the best of the rest, is out there in 9th. He's having a great run. And how about Matthew Stotts? Stotty Too Hottie running in 10th as well. Behind him, Andrew Elias with a good recovery from that accident earlier. But I saw Brett Bennett as well is on pit road, so the 47 going to take it down to pit road. They both went 38 laps on that last stop with cautions included, so it's going to be interesting to see how this strategy shakes out for these drivers. But right now, Cameron Caldwell leading. Justin Durand is right there in 2nd. Chicano is still there in 3rd as well. Moreno has dropped back to 4th.
When you mentioned 38 laps, that's really not that many.
Oh, Caldwell! What a save by the 12 machine. I don't know how many times we've said that tonight, but I guess he wants us to keep saying it. What a save by Cameron Caldwell to keep it gathered up.
As I was saying before we almost watched a Jesus take the wheel moment for Cameron Caldwell, these guys don't have that much fresher lap tires than Bennett had when he pitted. So I'm guessing we're going to have to see them come in very soon.
Matthew Stott's pitting. He's at 34 laps since he last ventured down pit road, and we'll show you how long they've been out there. 26 laps for our leaders. Was the last time we had a caution, the last time they pit.
Probably 12 more. Maybe a little longer than I thought it would be. About 12 more laps before they have to pit.
Give or take.
Yeah. Some guys may try to short pit so they gain an advantage, especially some of those guys towards the further back in the pack, I should say.
Another driver on pit road right now, Matthew Stotts. He was, as he comes off pit road, one of those other drivers on that strategy is Brett Bennett and Nathan Fuller. So there goes his top 10 running position for the time being. We'll promote Andrew Elias for that position right now.
Yeah, give Stotty Duhati some time. He'll be back up there as this race goes on, but you still see it there, just kind of single file right now as they go.
I appreciate your early 2000s wrestling reference there.
Yeah, absolutely. But as they run right now, it's going to be an interesting one coming down to it in this race. It is all Justin Duran out front. Alonso Chicano is right there in 2nd, chasing him down. We're going to take you on a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll take you on a JCTV side by side.
Hey, man, you cut me off back there. What you gonna do about it? Oh, man.
Can you feel it? The taste of Coca-Cola. Well, the race
All right,
is over.
fine. Are we good? We're good.
Fly the blimp, too much hot air. Race announcer, same thing there. Wouldn't get a word in with you know who. Just get down on the track and do what you do. Slide down in my seat, pull the belts tight. Get up on the wheel and let the dust fly. Never know how. Never know how.
Ooh. Call Logano. Hey, Joey, you can save money if you fill up at Shell if you use Advanced Auto Parts Speed Perks.
Dude, I'm way ahead of you.
You saved at the pump?
Yeah, I saved at the pump.
The pump?
The pump.
He saved at the pump!
Now you can save at the pump when you shop at Advance Auto Parts. Learn more at advanceautoparts.com/gas rewards.
Now, it's my turn.
So, Ginny, what makes you an awesome different driver?
Well, there's a lot to it. Man, it's a rush. So what makes home selling with OfferPad awesome different?
Oh, so much. But with OfferPad, it's a lot more home selling stuff and a lot less bumping into people.
I don't bump into anyone.
Home selling with OfferPad is awesome different. Request your free cash offer today at OfferPad.com.
Man, we're door to door. I have the better car, fresher tires. I drove it in deep, and you missed it. I know you wanted to watch it, but you got throttled by your data plan, and it slowed you down. You hit your data limit streaming all that techno music, didn't you? I mean, really? Man, you've got some questionable taste in music.
Switch to Sprint, the only network with truly unlimited data.
Man, running out of hot water, that's like running out of gas during a race.
You got that right.
That's why I'm getting a Richmond water heater, man. They're dependable.
A real winner.
They got everything here, too. And the prices, they're low.
Come to Menards. Check out our huge selection of Richmond water heaters in stock today. You'll save big money now. Low prices, lower energy cost.
Man, what an awesome store.
I'm proud to have them as a partner.
Let's go win some races for Menards.
Let's do it.
Save big money at Menards.
So how's that new Mahindra tractor, Tony?
To be honest, Chase, there's nothing more satisfying than working my land with this Mahindra. Well, nothing outside of being Rookie of the Year, winning 62 races, 3 Cup Series championships, securing dozens of sponsorship deals, getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, getting married to a wonderful woman, owning a racing team, hanging out in my trophy room, you know, awesome stuff.
Yeah, what? Can't hear you.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Haas Racing.
Dad, where'd you get that?
Oh, you won't believe what just happened.
Don't tell me you got the last Diet Dew.
Yeah.
I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for it? Deal.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, it tastes that good.
Hey, hotshot. Meter's running.
Joey, I don't know how you pulled that off, man. What's next?
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, Coca. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, Coca-Cola. Oh, Coca-Cola.
We'll be back live here, Chicagoland Speedway. Pit stops underway here for the front of the field. Alonso Chicano is the first to dart down pit road. It's over halfway in this race. It has been all that and more as we get you back up to speed here. with Alonso Chicano pitting. Tristan Mahart pulls that pit road as well. And here comes Justin now to pit road as well. Caldwell's going to stay out, as is Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Michael Walls, Michael Kruger. But Justin Durand is on pit road, going to make his next stop of this race.
It's a great hit pit road as well.
The way this is going, they're going to have to make at least one, maybe two more stops.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to have some tire left at the end of this thing.
And Cameron Caldwell, as well as Ethan Fonseca Moreno, going to pull it to pit road. Make sure they get down to speed, and they will. That gives the lead to Michael Kruger. Michael Walls right behind him, though. The big thing here, Michael Walls needs to lead a lap to get a bonus point. He's going to try everything to get around Michael Kruger and try to lead a lap here.
Yeah, this point could change everything when we get down to lap 150 between he and Brett Bennett here with Kurt Van knocked out of this race.
Kruger is going to come to pit road, maybe not yet. Staying out this extra lap. Michael Walls is going to have to try to pass him before they get to pit lane. Josh Arnold and Kyle Reuter come down pit road this time. Michael Walls trying, but just can't get there in enough time. If he can't get by that number 14 machine, he's going to have to settle for not leading a lap. But it looks like Michael Kruger down there on the apron, still not electing to come to pit road. There you see David Durand coming to pit road. That's going to put him a lap down as it stands. Mike is trying to get by that 14.
He can't go that much more longer. I mean, he's got to be careful not to run himself out of fuel.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I mean, they've got another 42 laps now. Josh Coppernoll the same, back there in third. Matt Steiner has been out for 42, as is Jacob Locklear. Still yet to come to pit road, though. They're going to stretch it as much as they can. Right now, 6th place, Nathan Fuller, Matthew Stotts, Brett Bennett. They pit 18 laps ago. And then Alonso Chicano currently in 9th. He just is the winner right now of the race off of pit road. There he is right there, making his way around the track looking for Brett Bennett. He is right here, just up ahead of Chicano, so that's not going to be a benefit here for him. But you see, here comes Michael Walls trying to get to the outside and go for the race lead. Kruger will pit. Walls will stay out the extra lap, so that's going to be a crucial bonus point for Michael Walls to lead this lap. Now it's just a matter of, did he cost himself by staying out this extra lap? Is he going to be able to make it around this last time to get to pit road?
And Dawson, it's not necessarily just this extra lap. It's these extra 3 or 4 or 5 laps that he's run just to pass Kruger on the racetrack compared to everyone else on the cycle.
See, he's down there on the bottom. Should be coming to pit road this time. No, actually stays out another lap. Matthew Stotts in the wall, back in the back, just behind him there.
But as we see this, right here's the speed differential with Alonso Chicano on those freshies. He's going to drive right by the 7, and he was mowing down the differential there big time last time by on the back straightaway, and he's just going to drive away from him this time as Justin Durand goes by. Kevin Carter's going to look to do the same.
Brett Bennett's basically just a sitting duck out there because he's got 18 lap older tires than the guys around him.
Well, I think Michael wanted to pit there, but he couldn't get to the bottom. He was stuck in the middle lane, and if he had wanted to pit there, he would have had to stop right in front of Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Well, we got 3 drivers that have yet to pit. Michael Walsh, Josh Coppernoll, Matt Steiner. They all have yet to come to pit road. I think Josh Coppernoll coming this time. Indeed, he is slowing up on the track. So that number 42 machine will be on pit road. Michael Walls has got to be on fumes at this point. Getting ready to come down pit road and make his next stop.
He could be carrying this to the limit to make sure he has the freshest tires and maybe try and make a shot at preserving himself a set for possible late race restarts.
Luckily what he's doing, so that's what will happen. He'll pull to pit road, and that right now, as it stands, if he's able to make an extra lap somehow, Matt Steiner right now is currently scored as 2nd place.
It's now entering low.
I am going to be so mad here. Yes, this will be his first career lap led in the Independence News Truck Series. And guess who is yet to lead a lap? Yours truly. Okay. Steiner, though, is going to get around. I think I actually did end up leading a lap at some point in this league. But yeah, Matt Steiner, as it stands right now, has led a lap. No, I have not led a lap in this league. So Matt Steiner will have that over my head. Congrats, Matt. You have led a lap when I have not. So let's see if he makes it to pit road here. Indeed, he will. So right now, your race leader, as he makes his way out of 4, it's going to be Nathan Fuller, but he has got a very short gap to this pack of drivers that are on fresher tires. Chicano, Durand, Caldwell, and Moreno all making headway towards that 4 machine who's going to be a sitting duck.
Talked about Michael Walls and him running long. He's blended back out on the racetrack, about 13 seconds behind these pack of 3 Radius Racing teammates right here. Currently going to score him in that 14th position, but guys, it's going to be very intriguing with him and Brett Bennett basically on opposite strategies here. Micah with the fresh tires for this run, Brett already on the old tires trying to make them survive a little bit longer.
And as they run right now, Brett Bennett is 7th. There you see Matt Steiner pulling off pit road. Bennett is currently in 7th place. We'll see how this shakes up. But right now, Chicano is to the lead. Justin Durant right there as well. Going to be a battle here to the end.
Nathan Fuller did a great job there, guys, of just moving out of the way, not making an issue, knowing the difference on the strategies here, and Justin Durand just keeping right in tow of Alonso Chicano threw it all on. Cameron Caldwell lost a little bit there, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno gaining a little bit to these 3.
And we're seeing Bennett, because of the old tires, is losing some more spots to people who have pitted. Kruger just got by him. And probably in the next couple of laps, Wright should get up to him as well. These 4 guys up here, they can't stay away from each other, can they?
Pretty much been this all night tonight, Ben. It's been a show, and it's been fun to watch. And
you're right, it has been a fun show to watch with these 4. They are the class of the field.
And I don't think much is going to change over these next 60 laps if they all stay on the racetrack, don't collide with each other until the end, probably. I think it will be a dramatic finish here at Chicagoland.
The only way anybody else is going to beat these 4 is if they outfox them on strategy somehow.
Definitely a possibility. We have shaping up a bunch of different strategic moves all night with all those cautions at the end of the first stage, and then the long green flag run here.
I'm also going to make a bold prediction right now. As far as who we might get for your championship 4, you can circle those 4 right there.
It wouldn't be a bad pick. Chicano, Durand, Caldwell, and Moreno. Chicano and Caldwell, 2 defending series champions in Season 1 and Season 2. And then, of course, you've got Justin Durand, who's come close a couple times. Season 2, Rookie of the Year. And then there's Ethan Fonseca Moreno, who has definitely come to life here throughout this season. This was his breakout year so far. He's looking to continue that all the way to Auto Club. But now the battle for the lead. Here comes Justin Durand back to the inside of Alonso Chicano.
Great run on the high line for Chicano, but he might get blocked up high depending on where the lap truck goes up ahead of them. This could be a factor.
Lap truck's their teammate, Alex Kerfin, going to be a factor here where they catch him. Hopefully it's right here down the straightaway. I think it will be, but Cameron Caldwell also going to be a factor here where he puts that energy of that 12 truck. We've seen him all night use that higher line, and that's where Alonso Chicano is running right now. But Caldwell going low to get by Kerfan.
Also just barely got by in front of Kerfan right there to try and get back to the high line. They timed that pretty well.
He slid a little sideways, almost slid back up into Moreno, trying to gather back up. Eventually, that 12 truck is going to slide like that, and he's not going to recover. He is battling, but the caution is out. I think it's Matthew Stotts. Indeed, it is. Spun out on the back straightaway is the 17 truck. And
mentioned earlier, he was on that strategy, and guys, he was falling through the pack a little bit, like Brett Bennett, another one of those guys on that strategy, and just inside the top 10, I believe, when this happened. There he is right in front of Brett. So we look up at this JCTV replay, Dawson.
So let's see what happened. He just gets loose, gets sideways, and gets Brett, gets tagged, and right there, Matt Steiner gets hit.
Oh, nowhere for either one of those two guys to go.
Brett just barely gathered it up and kept it from going in the grass. But Adam, you and I were talking fuel strategy earlier. This caution comes at a very, very interesting time.
Yeah, I honestly think it's right on the window.
We are just like borderline on the window to make it if we don't go to overtime. And I'm sure this is going to be on everybody's mind right now.
Yeah, I wonder how bad the damage is in the front of the 47 of Brett Bennett.
I don't think it's too bad.
Well, he's obviously going to come to pit road. As is everybody else, the whole field. Going to pull down pit lane.
Some guys are going to be saving gas from here. That's something we got to keep a close eye on because we're right at that window.
I mean, we saw them stretch to 46 laps is what we saw the likes of Michael Walls, Michael Kruger stretch to. Chicano is pulling off of pit lane now, but Caldwell is going to win the race off of pit road. But, we saw guys, Michael Walls, stretch it late. We saw other drivers, try to stretch it as long as they could, so it could be right in the fuel window. But I want to point out, Michael Walls staying out this time. Did not pit with the field. He's only been out there for 10 laps on those tires, so likely thought there was no reason to pit.
Steiner doesn't even come in for repairs.
But Chicano and Caldwell, 7.7 and 7.9 second stops. That's either going to mean they only took right sides or they only took fuel. Interesting decision to save that set of tires, or maybe just take two. I'd assume it's saving a set of tires entirely by the 12 and the 25 by design. Of course, they use the sets in stage 1, so save a set now to make it to the end of this race in case we get a late yellow to have that extra set in the pits.
A little insurance policy in case this doesn't go into a fuel run. Who was the first truck, who's the first truck, Dawson, that did take tires?
That'd be fourth place, Justin Durand. He took 4 freshies, as did Ethan Fonseca Moreno behind him. Michael Kruger, Ryan Bogey, all the way back. Everybody made a full stop.
Interesting.
But Brett Bennett now in 15th, of course. The battle on the cut line.
Curfan basically incapacitated many laps down. It's gonna be between him and Walls unless we get a lot of yellows.
And Michael Walls currently leading this field.
And David Duran has been struggling as well with the damage he had from earlier.
The damage along with just not being able to handle anything, and the wreck earlier looks like he's actually fully retired from this race. So David Durand is not going to be advancing into the round of 7. Alex Kerfan is on life support, 6 laps down in the 30 truck. On pit road there, getting some more damage repaired as the field goes by. Gonna put him down another lap. Alex Kerfan's championship hopes likely dash the same track that he scored his most recent win at.
I mean, we saw Brett Bennett have a moment there earlier, Dawson. I mean, if both these guys find themselves getting into some trouble late into this race, he might have an outside shot at staying alive.
Well, we'll see. No matter how things play out in this one tonight. But we have got 50 laps to go when we hit the start-finish line. So it's going to be really close to make it on fuel. For everybody that came down pit road, that includes everybody from second on back. Michael Walls staying out under this caution to assume the race lead. Caldwell and Chicano behind him. They only took fuel on that stop. We'll see how it shakes out for him. Pace car's off. We're going to get the green flag this time. 50 laps to go in the MardonPC.com 200. Green flag back in the air.
Good restart for Walls. Oh, looks like the lack of tire causes the 12 to drift up there. Here comes Justin Duran.
Duran on fresh tires, as is Moreno. They're going to split the 25 here and now go to work on Michael Walls, who still holds on to the race lead for now.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno wanted to send it in the inside of Michael Walls there in turn 3, couldn't get close enough. Going to try and do it down the front straightaway now. Justin Duran also had to tuck back in line down the front. Going to push that 7 truck into turn 1.
Easy, Micah.
Continues to lead. Of course, last week we saw him wreck himself out of the lead, trying to hold off Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Now, here we go again. It's the same story, different dance. Here comes Moreno to the inside, trying to get a nose underneath the 7 truck.
A 4 wide further back.
Dakota Knoll runs in 4th right now as it runs, and Michael Kruger right behind him as we continue to see that battle for the lead. Fonseca Moreno to the inside, down the back straightaway. Justin Duran to the inside of him, make it 3 wide with a slingshot into turn 3.
Moreno trying to get to the lead. They're going to get by Michael Walls. That means that it's going to be a battle between the 5 and 43 for now. They're going to door again, maybe a little bit of contact as they make their way to the tri-oval. This has been the battle all night, these two.
Albo for the 14 truck off of turn 2 there. Still side by side with Michael Walsh for that 3rd position. Going to be able to clear him off of 4 here as they continue to be side by side like you mentioned, Dawson. The battle for the lead all night, especially between these two. These two have been stuck together pretty much.
Like peas in a pod, they have just stayed together. Moreno and Duran as they got up to the front. But that's also allowed Michael Kruger to get up here. And no, Duran missed the bottom, gets up into Moreno. Moreno has to chase it up the track. He gets it back together. They stay 1-2, but now here comes Michael Kruger bringing Michael Walls, Dakota Knoll. How about Ryan Bogey up in the mix now in 6th? This night has mainly been dominated by all those playoff drivers, but look at the top 10 now. 5th through 11th, all are non-playoff drivers in the mix now.
Yeah, nice battle for 9th going on between Andrew Elias and also our JCTV colleague, Josh Coppernell. Let him get up in the mix.
Yeah, he's back there in 9th, battling with Elias for 9th right now.
As those two go side by side, the top 8 trucks are all within a second of each other. Jamie Wright involved in an incident earlier we mentioned. Josh Arnold, he's had an adventurous night, as has Dakota Knoll, of course, and Ryan Bogey's missed a few incidents. All have recovered in the last 50 laps to be up here in the mix. While these two, they're just sitting and watching these two have a great battle for the lead, a great race as Ethan Fonseca Moreno clear to the lead for now, but not for long.
Duran trying to get back to the inside, gonna slide up there again. Oh, maybe a little more contact between the two. Using up the fenders that they've got on those trucks. Just fighting. It's a dogfight for this race lead.
They have not heard anyone, especially us, talk about that netcode all night tonight. They are pushing the limits and trying everything they can just to
they're
push each other up the track.
Oh my goodness.
They're going to have to be careful with doing that. Justin is going to end up getting himself into trouble there, or getting both of them into trouble with that.
Well, we're also keeping... Sorry, Dawson.
Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say, we're also keeping in mind, like, there's no gear... Like, fuel... The fuel is going to be borderline at best here. So it's like, you're just knocking the stuffing out of each other in spite of that.
The big thing, too, with these guys, I mean, they're not completely safe. I mean, Justin's up Justin's up 21. Ethan's up 15. Those are good gaps, but they're not enough to lock them in. If something were to happen, these two were to wreck, I mean...
Or run out of fuel.
Yeah, that...
A DNF is the worst thing that can have happen to them. As Ryan Bogey with a big moment behind them. He was gonna
Ryan
save
Bogey!
it. Catches the wall, though.
He's in the wall. He got it gathered up, but he got the wall hard.
Could have been a lot.
Oh, Moreno! No, Justin Durand, Ethan Fonseca Moreno were involved!
Oh, no.
Justin Durand is in a junk pile on the front straightaway.
That truck is destroyed. Commentators curse, Dawson?
Not a curse if we mentioned it. We'll have to look back and see at everything that transpired. First, we'll quickly look back at what happened to the 21 of Ryan Bogey to show you while we were watching that. He makes contact. Josh Arnold just drifted up. They just make contact, and then again right here. Not too sure what that was all about. Andrew Elias just missing it, but then as we were watching this 21 machine, the battle for the lead yet again. Side by side, Moreno gets loose right there, and up into the wall goes Justin Durand, a heavy hit.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's what the caution was for, not for the 21.
You'll see right here, the 43 gets a little sideways, and just contact with Justin Durand puts him into the outside wall.
And we were talking about it. That's just the risk of running that close together.
But if you heard that too, did you hear? It sounded like an engine blowing. That 5 machine likely done for the night. Moreno with damage as well, likely going to have to get repairs done on the 43 truck, but...
I had a feeling the engine was done in that 5 from the way that he just sat there at the entrance of pit road and not even moved, so... We just said that the worst case scenario would be a DNF for them, and he's going to plummet all the way down the leaderboard here with all these damaged trucks still running other than him.
Show you the points again here. You see Justin Durand came out of the stage plus 21. A position is a point. Now, the big factor is if Justin has led the most laps tonight, if he can clinch that up, that will be big. It will play big dividends for that 21 machine to get a bonus point to possibly help. But you'll see right here, Michael Walls is currently 7th. Brett Bennett currently 2nd. And Justin Durand is only back in 19th. He's got enough right there to hold off those two for now. But it all shakes up on how things play out. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be really close at the end of this race.
Especially with Kerfan having damage as well. And Kerfan, this will allow him to gain at least one spot. But Fonseca Moreno was only plus 15 after the stage.
Yeah,
he's not in a good spot.
For Justin's sake, there are 2 drivers that are out there that are laps down behind him. Alex Kerfan is 7 laps down, 4 laps behind him. Brian Haynes is 28 laps down. If Haynes and Kerfan are able to continue and able to keep up enough to where they can make these laps, that can drop Justin to 21st. It probably won't be enough to knock him out of this race. David Rand already out. Brandon Havens out, as is Jake Scarborough. I think the 5 machine will be close to being safe. But, you know, he's pretty lucky. As far as Ethan Fonseca Moreno goes, however, he's back in 17th right now. He better hope that he's got all his damage fixed and that truck is still running right. Because he is the one that's going to be on the outside looking in here.
I'm sure if you're Michael Walls and Brett Bennett right now, you just realize that a whole nother... We were thinking it was going to be a one-on-one battle between the 2 of them, with Kerfan in trouble and David Durand out of the race. The layers just got more complex for them.
And the complex layers, the points, it really starts with the complex layers of the race, because I'm not sure what the strategy is under this caution. I'm pretty sure these guys up front stayed out, the top 3 that is, maybe more than that, actually.
The top 3, yes, stayed out. Andrew Elias, Brett Bennett, and Tristan Maher all electing to stay out. Michael Kruger was the first truck off of pit road. Fuel only for him. Ryan Bogey as well, fuel only. Then back in 6th place, Dakota Knoll was the first truck on fresh tires. Michael Walls as well, fresh tires. Jamie Wright as well. But Chicano was 9th, Nathan Fuller 10th. They didn't take tires either. So they're back here in the back of the field. They did not take tires in this stop, so this should be interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah, with Andrew Elias, we saw they were just barely avoiding that incident. And Ryan Bogey still, who pretty much, he didn't trigger it, but triggered all the craziness that transpired on the back straightaway with his mishap, up here in the top 5 again with his call there on pit road. You mentioned Dawson, so this front of the field is going to, I think, go a little bit crazy here into turn 1. We got damage truck of Tristan Maher, who has been down all race up here now, so this could be a dramatic restart.
This throws a fuel mileage race out the window. Now it all comes down to tire strategy.
Well,
Not
Andrew
if you're those
Elias.
top 3. Yeah, those top 3.
Elias, the leader, coming to the green flag here. That truck. He is going to get on the gas pedal and get out clear for the green flag. Here comes Michael Kruger, though, on fresher tires, going to try to, or on fuel, actually, going to try to challenge for the lead. He did not take tires under that caution.
Look at that 21. A bogey's still up there despite getting involved in an accident.
Chicano looked like he got a little sideways, had to gather it up, and they're going to wreck. Chicano's around.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
No caution. They're in the grass.
Nathan Fuller was in it as well, and I think Tristan Maher got a piece as well. We stay green.
Well.
No. Alonso Chicano tried to pull up on track to cause a caution. It doesn't happen. He is going to get back rolling, but that is not at all what you should do in that situation.
Is that a penalty? Is that going to be a penalty?
That'll go down to the admin team when this race is over, but right now the battle is for the lead. Michael Walls and Michael Kruger side by side.
This started last lap off of turn 4. Kruger had a little bit of a bobble with Michael Walls right on his back bumper, almost.
Ryan Bogey's
gonna spin.
This time the caution will come out. Ryan Bogey is around.
I don't know how that was a caution, to be honest, but it calms us down.
I don't know either. And he looked like he was already getting way loose and tried to save it and just overcorrected it.
Take a look back.
Ouch.
It just slides right here.
Yep, right there.
And then gets hit by Dakota Knoll.
Wow.
How Cameron Caldwell did not hit him there. Oh, what a move.
Caldwell's been the luckiest man of the race today.
Watch this one. C2 graphics on board camera.
Yo! Oh. He's already gone through a pair of brown shorts. He's probably going to go through 2 or 3 now.
Well, with that caution, we are closing in the end of this race. It is now about 30 laps to go.
Hey, Dawson, why don't we look back at what happened with Alonso there off of turn 4? Obviously we saw with he and Nathan Fuller.
Yeah, so we'll take a look back at that on your JCTV replay. So this is what transpires here. So this is a battle for position here in the top. You see Chicano drifts up, then gets hit by Tristan Maher there, and they both slide in the grass. Now, Chicano slides, Fuller slides. Fuller's able to gas it back up and get back going right there.
Here's where here's where the silliness happens.
But Alonso just pulls up perpendicular racing surface. He parks it on the track, stays there. No caution, no caution. And finally, when the field is starting to actually close back in, he gets it rolling. Look again here. There you see Maher, the slide, the contact, and around they go. And right here.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more incidents like that off of turn 4 tonight, Dawson. The way they have made moves like that.
Yeah, the way they come off of 4 is just absurd how they haven't wrecked yet. So as we continue to pace, we'll get 30 laps to go this next time by.
You have to wonder the amount of caution's been suddenly picking up of late. If those guys who have been saving sets of tires maybe made the best call.
Watching the choose here, Michael Wall's picking the outside along with Michael Kruger, so Dakota No gonna get promoted to the front row here from his 3rd position.
So as they go side by side, double file we go. 30 laps, make it 29 laps to go when we get the green flag. Nobody came to pit road under this caution, so a bit of mixed strategies on how long everybody's been out there and how old the tires are. It's going to be hard to gauge because some of these guys have been coming down and just getting fuel only on these cautions, so we can't really gauge that yet, but take a look at the point situation right now. David Duran, of course, out of the race in 22nd officially. He will not be able to continue on. He is eliminated here in the round of 10. Justin Duran, is currently scored 20th. He is 11 laps down. Brian Haynes, 28 laps down, has a chance to pass him still in this race. That'll put him back to 21st if Haynes is able to get to him. So Justin Duran right now likely looking at a 21st place finish, so he'll be right there on the bubble as well. Alex Kerfan, 19th, likely going to be out of this one as well, down 6 laps. Pace truck is off, though. We're going to go back racing here. Michael Kruger chose the outside. Dakota Nola was inside. The green flag is out. Back racing at Chicago. 29 laps to go. Battling for second now between Michael Walls, Dakota Knoll get into the inside. Of course, Dakota Knoll, a one-time winner here, winner at Phoenix back in Season 3. Andrew Elias in the wall back in the back there up top of your screen. That yellow truck. But he's able to get it back straight as we continue to see this battle for second. Here comes Cameron Caldwell now to the outside.
Highline has been basically the signature place we've seen Cameron Caldwell make up a lot of ground on guys, and here he goes for it again. He's pulling the Kyle Larson of the field today.
This battle right here, almost 4 wide for a second. Hey, Jacob Locklear trying to make a miss here and trying to get through the field out back, but battling all over the racetrack, every position for everybody. As we got a battle for the lead brewing. Here comes Michael Walls to the inside of Michael Kruger now. Rest of your playoff updates. Ethan Fonseca Moreno is 8th right now. He is still in a good spot to advance into the next round, running just behind Brett Bennett, who really is going to need a miracle at this point if he wants to advance.
Jamie Wright, right in the middle of the fight all of a sudden, got up to that 4th position, just behind the 3 leaders now to the inside of Cameron Caldwell off of turn 4, now trying to maybe mix it up, trying to think about it for the lead here. Can he go 4 wide for the lead into turn 1?
4 wide into turn 1 for the race lead! Knoll still hanging tough there in the middle bottom of the 4 wide. They get it back to 3. Cameron Caldwell trying to surge ahead on the outside. But how about the run by Jamie Wright?
Walls wisely backed out of that to prevent an accident from happening, but Wright still side drafting off of Knoll, trying to make something happen here. Here comes Caldwell, though, off the high line. He's probably going to lead at the line.
Knoll was tight on the door of the 00 truck, though, through 3 and 4. Going to stay right there on ring 1. Kyle Reuter is the truck that pushed Jamie Wright into this situation, I believe, because both trucks came out of nowhere a couple laps ago.
Jamie Wright, that last pit stop, he took tires as well, so he's up in the mix. But look at how that's really just made this pack tight again. Top 7 all right here in this grouping, but Jamie Wright is going to storm ahead of the race lead.
Wrap from Knoll, but Knoll's going to send him up high, try to see if he can get another look under him. Wright shuts the door.
Walls is side by side with Bennett in the background. Moreno losing a spot to Josh Arnold as well, who's caught up, as is Josh Copperdo and Alonso Chicano as they continue to battle for the race lead. Cameron Caldwell trying to work the outside lane. Oh, somebody fading Josh Copperdo on the outside wall. Everybody able to avoid this 42.
What happened to him?
He got loose in the bottom of 4, trying to make a pass, got to the outside wall. That's going to drop him back to 17th as they stand. Another driver who's fading back through the field is the 43 of Ethan Fonseca Moreno. He does not need to keep losing spots like this. If he keeps fading back, it's really going to cost this 43 machine. It might even put him out of the playoffs.
Could be a disastrous night, you mentioned, for the 43 truck after what looked to be such high hopes for the most part of this race. Racing right now, Jacob Locklear going to lose that for the 13th spot, but up front, Cameron Caldwell around Jamie Wright for the time being for the lead. He's got to push from teammate Dakota Noe down the back straightaway.
And hey, don't forget, look who's up in 3rd now. How about Kyle Reuter? In that number 9 MartOnPC.com Chevy Silverado. He's got a chance. Oh, Caldwell got in the back of Jamie right there for a second. They keep it straight. 20 laps to go in the MartOnPC.com 200.
Michael Walls. Don't look now. Look who's coming up behind, closing in on Michael Walls for 5th. Oh, but Mikey Kruger's going to go by Brett Bennett. I'm sure he's looking at back and sees that Bennett is coming.
Crossover for the lead while that battle rages for that 6th position. Walls now.
Oh, Michael Walls! He just got turned into the outside wall. He tried to pull up in front of Dakota Noe. Contact is made. The caution flies. Not sure the damage on the number 7 truck.
Major playoff implications, folks.
I think, Dawson, you called it perfectly. That's exactly what I saw them going through that tri-oval. It looked like the 7 just tried to clear himself up in front of Dakota Noe, who was still there. Gonna take a look back, of course, at this JCTV replay, Dawson.
See Noel bobbling a little bit. He gets it high up in the corner right here. But right here, I think he's just thinking he's going to have a chance. It's really hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah, that angle looks like a little bit mix of both.
Noel trying to come down and Walls trying to come up, thinking that he was going to stay up the track. Let's take a look here. This should be a good view right here.
Yeah, that one looks a little bit worse for Dakota Noe.
Yeah, I think Noel was trying to chase him down, and I don't think, at least from my vantage point, it's kind of hard. It's really hard to tell. Really, really hard to tell. But we will see at the conclusion of this race how things will shake out. Michael Walls still rolling, but he is now in 17th. And that's going to be big for these points standings. Of course, we mentioned it with everybody else that's currently out of the race or having issues back in the back. Brian Haynes is only 5 laps away from passing Justin Duran. That's another point dropped off of the 5 machine, but also 2. Now with Michael Walls having these issues, it's going to open the door, and all signs are pointing to Brett Bennett advancing. He's going to come down pit road, get some fresh tires, and take some fuel here in the late stages of this race. But this 47 machine, he's in a good spot now to advance.
What's got to be going through the head of Brett Bennett right now, watching literally everybody he has to race right now getting in the wall at one point or another?
Well, knowing how Brett is, I think he's wondering when he'll hit the wall. Brett is obviously going to be very paranoid about that, just waiting for the moment his truck goes to the outside wall and gets turned and cost him his chance. We'll have to see, but, I mean, the other person that's really kind of breathing a sigh of relief, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, needed that caution. He was dropping back through the field as that run was going on. He was having issues. He had damage. I mean, he's just been fading through the field, but this caution gives him a chance to pull down pit road, get a fresh set of tires, maybe any other damage he might have had left, get that repaired, get back out there and start going for it here at the end of this race. So a lucky break for the 43 as well to keep his playoff hopes alive. But as it stands right now, top 7 on the racetrack did not pit. That is Cameron Caldwell, Jamie Wright, Kyle Reuter, Dakota Knoll, Alonso Chicano, Ryan Bogey, and Jacob Locklear.
There's one other person who's breathing a sigh of relief watching Michael Wall's wreck, and that's Justin Duran.
Yeah, Justin Duran. Of course, the biggest challenge is going to be both Brett Bennett and Michael Walls. I mean, both of them are right there breathing down Justin's neck, so that's going to help him out, and it's really going to help out. It helps out Justin that at least Micah had that issue while running so high up. But like I said,
Kerfan still has to sweat.
Yeah, Kerfan's not going to... Kerfan right now, 5 laps down in 19th place. He's all but out of it.
Yeah.
In that 19th spot in that 30 truck. He is all but out of it. So it's going to take a miracle for him to get back in it. It will take Michael Walls and Brett Bennett both wrecking out of this race and not having a good run to the finish for this 30 truck to have a chance. But Michael Walls is still on the lead lap, getting damage repaired. Currently 17th on track for the 7 truck. So his playoff hopes are coming down to the wire. We're going to have to see if he
That's
can
why
salvage.
I still said don't count out Kerfan just because of what we just witnessed.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Kerfan is not fully out of it. He's still got a chance. It's just a matter of some things happening to these other drivers to take them out of it. But you see, as it runs right now, coming into this, Michael Walls was 4 points behind Alex Kerfan. As it stands right now, he's only 2 points ahead. So he's only got 2 points on Alex Kerfan, so that's going to put him out -2 right now. So Walls right now, as he stands, he would be out. But he's got some spots he can make up on the lead lap still. As long as that truck's up to speed in that number 7 machine, he can still make his way up there and get that spot, but it's going to be a tough one. So choose cone. There you see everybody choosing what lane they want to restart in here. Caldwell goes bottom, as does Jamie Wright, but you see Kyle Reuter and Dakota Knoll go to the top side. Alonso Chicano is 5th there on the inside, and then it's Ryan Bogey to his outside. We will have a 14-lap to go restart. And things are just getting all the more hairy and all the more intense as we get down to the end of this first round of the playoffs. It's been eventful. It's been exciting. Who is going to come out on top tonight? But more importantly, who's going to keep their championship hopes alive? Right now, the fighters in the mix. Alex Kerfan's still got a shot. Brett Bennett's still there, as is Michael Walls. But the biggest winner out of all that, though, is the 47 of Brett Bennett. Where he's at right now, I believe he would be the one that's in that final points-paying position. Michael Walls has to still try to climb his way to the front. $14 to go. Caldwell, Reuter, the front row. Both drivers have won before in this series. Jamie Wright in 3rd, never won. Dakota Knoll's got 1 career win. Who's going to come out on top? The pace car is off. The green flag is out. The MartOnPC.com 200 is back underway.
A couple guys in the middle of the line there kind of spun their tires a little bit.
Jacob Locklear jumping to the outside of Ryan Bogey with Tristan Maher as well. 3 wide, tight racing here in the back half of the field.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno looking underneath Brett Bennett now. Alonso Chicano blocking Michael Kruger below the white line down the back straightaway.
Oh, Jacob Locklear, I think, to the wall back in the background there. Indeed, he is. They're still racing, though. Still fighting. Brett Bennett trying to thread the needle 3 wide between Dakota Knoll and Michael Kruger.
If I'm wrong, is Brett Bennett on the freshest tires in the field right now?
As it stands, him and Michael Kruger, the 2 on fresh tires. They're side by side back here for 5th and 6th.
Could be the race for the win here through this traffic. Kruger to the inside. Bennett trying to follow him, but he's boxed in right now by that 25.
And Moreno
a little contact ahead of him.
Moreno right behind as well is also in the mix. He's on fresh tires too. Chicano and Reuter side by side. Kruger gets by. Bennett going to follow suit. Chicano Reuter still maybe dooring a little bit.
There was definitely contact on the back straight or in ring 3 between the 25 and the 9. Chicano's going to get the advantage between those positions up to 4th right now into turn 1.
Oh, Dakota Knoll fading back quickly there on the outside lane, dropping all the way back to 10th, continuing to falter here. But up front, the battle for second. Here comes Michael Kruger. Brett Bennett still right there in tow.
Caldwell has a little bit of a gap because of the battling going on. It won't last for long because here comes Kruger. But this is going to shape up to be a very interesting battle, especially if Kruger or Bennett get side by side with Caldwell. The other one could take advantage.
Oh, Kruger going to pull to the inside. He got right there on the quarter panel. Now to the inside, side by side for the race lead. Michael Kruger goes to the point. Coming to 10 laps to go. Bennett now to second.
These might have to be the most 10 important laps of Brett Bennett's racing career right here if he wants to have a shot continuing. He might be good enough on points, but I know he's going to want to improve himself right here with a win, guys.
Yeah, he'd rather get the win. He doesn't care about points. Right now, he's looking at that 14 in his windshield, and he's going for it.
And just in case anybody has any sets left, Kruger and Bennett are probably praying there's no caution.
Ooh, Ryan Bogey, Andrew Elias might have had a little contact back there further back. Not enough to matter right now. Michael Walls, by the way, he's only up to 13th, so that 7 truck has still got a long road ahead of him, and he's got 4 trucks ahead. He's got contact with Kyle Reuter. Ryan Bogey almost makes contact with him as well. He's going to have to pull to the outside and try to fend him off. Michael Walls, though, is slow back on the back straightaway, not able to make the run. Now he's going to dive into the inside of Kyle Reuter. But up front, the top 2 have separated themselves from the pack. Bennett still right there with Kruger. Further back.
Correct me if I'm wrong, based on how they run Dawson. Bennett doesn't even need to win. He just needs to stay right there, and he would advance.
As they run right now, Brett Bennett is in. Alex Kerfan is out. The battle, though, in the back half of the field. Everybody fighting for any spot they can take. As this lap's wind down, Ethan Fonseca Moreno recovers to 4th. He's got a good chance to advance. We got a truck in the grass. It's Ryan Bogey. He gets it straight, and just like that, he pulls it back on track and gets it back going. A great job by Ryan Bogey to not park it on the track, and he gets it straight. We stay green. Coming to 6 laps to go next time by.
Great save by the 21 back there.
Yeah, another great save for him. It's going to be disappointing.
That was, I think, that's Cameron Caldwell.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was Moreno too. Don't worry. It's Cameron Caldwell. Andrew Elias is in it. Caution flag is out. And we're going to have overtime.
Everything.
My head got confused on the orange trucks too, Dawson. But yeah, Ben, this will change everything at the front of the field as we look at this JCTV replay between the In the Pits News number 12 and the truck 44 here.
Elias going to the outside and Caldwell tried to block it. Looked like a little too late there. Elias got hit by Jamie Wright.
Yeah, and some of those guys were very lucky to not have more damage, I'm sure, because they flew right in there.
And don't look now, folks. Look who's recovered from a wreck up to 9th.
Caldwell's got the insurance policy of the win at Pocono to lay back on. We'll go on board with Andrew Elias and see what happened here with Cameron Caldwell. It looked like Cam went to block, and maybe a little netcode got them together. Look on board from the tailgate. Cameron Caldwell. You see right there the bobble. Just that'll take the 44 and involve another accident here, and that'll stack the field back up and really shake things up here.
If anyone's got any tires left, now's the time. Gentlemen, as we get ready for this, Brett Bennett obviously in position to advance right now as they run. Michael Walls is back in ninth. So Bennett just needs to execute on this restart and not get an accident, and he should be able to advance.
As it stands, this might come down to a unofficial green-white checkered. It is going to be a hectic restart if we don't get another green-white checkered attempt here. Obviously, it's going to be the one to green this time. The drivers are going to choose their lanes. You see here, Bennett's going to go bottom with Kruger. Looks like Moreno's going to go bottom as well. Nathan Fuller choosing the top first truck on the top side.
I think that's a good move by Bennett. Got the fresher tires like Kruger, so just get right on his bumper and draft up with him. And then you both can get by some of the other trucks.
And take a look who's up there outside of row 2. How about Josh Arnold? Well, he just barely missed the playoffs in that battle with Brett Bennett, but he's up here running in this 4th spot right now. He's got a good shot at a good finish as well, so kudos to this 22 team. They have been at it all race long, trying to fight and claw their way up here. So a good run for Josh Arnold tonight, up there in the 4th spot.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno as well, right there, and just behind Brett Bennett as well. Managed to get back up to contention after wrecking earlier.
So here's how they stack up. Unofficial, green-white checkered. Michael Kruger, your race leader. He is already locked into the next round, so he doesn't need to worry about the win. The win's just going to be to add on to his win total. Nathan Fuller, second, not a playoff driver, looking for his first career win. Brett Bennett looking to advance into the next round. He is also looking for his first career win. Josh Arnold looking for his first career win as well with a great run tonight. Ethan Fonseca Moreno looking to solidly lock himself into the next round. 2 laps to go when we get the green flag to the Geico restart zone. Michael Kruger launches. The green flag is out. 2 more laps at Chicago. And a great jump. Kruger with a great jump.
See what Brett Bennett can do back here. Fuller's real tight on him. He should get clear of him for second. Then he's got to worry about hanging on against Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Kruger going to try to break the draft. Bennett going to try to follow in his footsteps, but that's going to almost open the door. He's going to get back to the inside in front of Moreno. Bennett now side by side for the race lead. They're going to see the white flag this time by. 1 more lap remains at Chicago for the MarlonPC.com 200. Brett Bennett side by side with Michael Kruger for the race lead.
And hang on to it. He's got a good draft behind him from Moreno.
Side by side they go. Down the back straightaway. Moreno on the back bumper of Bennett. Fuller is on the back of Michael Kruger as they head for 3 and 4 for the final time. Bennett still side by side with Kruger. Out of 3 and 4. Bennett gonna door him side by side at the line. It's gonna be Michael Kruger at the line. Michael Kruger just barely holds off Brett Bennett. And he's going to have to wait at least another week to get that illustrious victory that's been evading him all his career. Brett Bennett, yet another second place finish.
That's about the worst way you could get him, too. Photo finish all the way to the line there. Incredible race. Ben...
Oh, wow.
You predicted it from the beginning, calling it an IndyCar race. That was classic IndyCar at Chicagoland. Oh my goodness. Michael Kruger's going to burn it down here on the front straightaway. I really don't have all my thoughts together yet. What a finish.
No, but Brett Bennett has a lot to celebrate because if my calculations are correct, and Dawson can correct me if I'm wrong or right, I believe Brett Bennett advances.
We'll have to double check the math and see to make sure of everything here. The most laps led bonus is going to go to Cameron Caldwell, so Justin Duran is not going to have that to rely on. But we will go and try to get this scored as best as we can. So forgive us for it being a little longer for this post-race festivities, but we'll go ahead and get you your post-race results here on the screen. Michael Kruger finally gets that win that he's been waiting for just a little bit here. It's been a while since he made it back to victory lane. He will celebrate tonight, locking himself into the round of 7. Brett Bennett in second. Ethan Fonseca Moreno there in third. Nathan Fuller finishing fourth. Tristan Maher with a recovery to fifth. Josh Arnold in sixth. Alonso Chicano finishing seventh. Matt Steiner is eighth. Michael Walls in ninth. And Matthew Stotts rounding out your top 10.
Kai Ruda crossing the line in 11th, Jacob Locklear 12th, Andrew Elias finishes 13th, Jamie Wright ends up 14th, Dakota No 15th, Ryan Bogey ends 16th, Cameron Caldwell, last driver on the lead lap 17th, Josh Copano 18th, Alex Kerfin ends his night 5 laps down in 19th, and Brian Haynes rounded out the top 20 finishing results in 20th, 28 laps behind.
And our 4 guys who DNF'd officially on the night, the Duran brothers, Justin Duran 21st, David Duran 22nd, who will not advance, Brandon Havens 23rd, and Jake Scarborough, who dropped out within the first 10 laps, who ran out the field in 24th.
And it sounds like he is still celebrating, so we'll let that happen really quickly while we get the points calculated. So just kind of bear with us here. It'll be a little short, a little weirder post-race results than normal.
You out of breath like I am, Adam?
Yeah, absolutely, Ben.
You can't get much more exciting than that for a race. That was a classic.
Those last 2 laps were pretty much everything we could have expected once it went into that overtime situation. The way that we were watching all those restarts all night long just shape up, and it was pretty much all the way to the end. Not knowing if it was going to be those top 2, I didn't know if they were going to get out of turn 3 necessarily clean.
1/100th of a second was the margin of victory.
Yeah, it was a close one for Brett Bennett, and I can tell you he could almost taste it coming to the start-finish line. But what we're going to do, when I hit this button here, we'll see who's in and who's out unofficially. As it stands, the button has been hit, and there is your answer. With Michael Kruger winning and advancing, he will be in the round of 7, along with Alonso Chicano, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Justin Duran, and Brett Bennett. Does it with that second-place run, 7 points to the good. Your 3 drivers that have been eliminated from playoff contention, Michael Walls, Alex Kerfan, and David Duran, will not be racing for a championship. So while he didn't win the battle, he has a chance to go on and win the war still. So Brett Bennett, lucky to survive and move on to the round of 7. Wow. What a race. I mean, it was down to the wire for Brett Bennett. He came so close, so close. I was on my feet. I was out of my seat. I was about ready to call Brett Bennett winning a race. I thought it was going to happen, but yet again, another photo finish. Another photo finish.
We might be a little biased, Austin, because Brett's been a friend of ours for a long time, and we've wanted it for him. But he you got to give it to him, though. I mean, of the guys that he had to beat, he kept it clean during the race, and that was what made the difference.
Yeah, it all came down to just keeping it straight and making sure that he did what he had to do to put himself in a position to win, and he does so indeed. But we've got some other drivers to talk to as well. First, let's see if we can get a hold of our third-place finisher with Adam. That would be the driver of the number 43, Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Hey, Ethan, it's the guys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, a lot to talk about tonight. A third-place finish for that 43 truck. I don't know where you want to start, so I'll just start right at the end with that green-white checker finish. What was it like from seat 43 seeing it all unfold and that side-by-side finish to the end?
I don't know, man. The whole time I was just thinking I want to finish this race because I don't know. I'm not really feeling too good when this race was going. So um, yeah, just trying to make it to the end. I'm not sure if I would have had a shot at the win if I did anything different. I think it was just settling with whatever I got. Um, uh, yep, that's all I got.
Well, you mentioned just wanted to get to the end and finish. There were a couple incidents in the race. Got the wall a couple times, I believe, and then of course the run in with the 5. Overall, the race from your perspective, what do you think about Chicagoland tonight and the Modern PC 200?
I thought it was pretty fun. I was struggling a little bit at first. I didn't really run many practice laps, so I couldn't, um, know what I should be doing in terms of like what line to be running and how much I can push the limits with my truck. Um, it, it it was pretty good, pretty fast early in the race. Battling with the front there, they were all battling pretty hard, and I pretty much burnt up my stuff and or yeah, cooked up my tires and had to let them cool off a little bit before I try to make another run back at them. It was just like I don't know. I felt like I was just it was just me pretty much by myself, just battling against the 3 radius trucks there. So I mean, 3 against 1, you know, couldn't really do much. I tried to get back to the lead, but they're just defending pretty hard. But yeah, the run in with the 5. He said I doored him like 20 times. But I don't know. I didn't really feel anything. I don't think I turned down on him really on the straightaways at all. There was a few times where he came up the track and doored me all and put me almost up in the wall in the turn 1. I appreciate that, but I didn't do anything to retaliate at all, so I just kept racing. Um, I don't know, maybe it was netcode or something that we doored a few times because my spotter was telling me that I was getting 0x's a few times, so and I didn't really make contact, but maybe it's just netcode. But yeah, once I got that damage, it just kind of truck was misbehaving a little bit, I guess. I was just getting random snaps, just getting tight, but yeah, just trying to survive there.
Well, despite all that contact, all the incidents on the racetrack, you were able to finish third, of course, make it in by 22 points into the next round of the playoff, the round of 7 next week at Kentucky. What do you have to think moving on next weekend?
I'm a little nervous because I'm not really too familiar with these trucks anymore. I don't really race them unless if I do this league, so I don't know what to expect. Probably have to put more time into it, but yeah, looking forward to maybe trying to get some better finishes.
All right, well, congrats on the run tonight, Ethan. Hopefully you feel better this week. Who do you have to shout out and thank to get you here to a third place run tonight?
I thank my team at PBR. We helped each other during that race a bit. Tried to even on track as well. Definitely on strategy. I got to shout out Luke Nupp as well, because he was my spotter of this race. So he helped me out quite a bit, trying to spot where we were 3 wide and what everybody was doing around me. So yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, appreciate your time, Ethan, and good luck next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Was our third place finisher, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, in that 43 truck tonight. Now it's here from our second place finisher tonight with Ben.
Let me pull him. Let me pull him down.
And
Hey, Brett Bennett, it's your old pal Ben Smith up in the booth. You got a copy?
yep, I'm here.
Brett, I don't know what it is about you in cutoff races. You were in a similar situation at Talladega and came into this race and won, and you triumphed and you advanced to the round of 7, buddy, with a second place finish, despite knowing you want to win. But congratulations on advancing.
Yeah, I mean, I did all I could in this race to maximize points. Played a strategy call that kind of put me behind the 8 ball in stage 1 just to get stage points, and that ended up working out for me. And then I saved a set of tires, was going to try to do a fuel strategy. I just did I threw everything at the wall this race and eventually and kept saving a set of tires. So if we got a late caution, I could put those on. So I just had that option too, and ended up really working out for me. So yeah, just happy to advance. Did all I could. Felt like I was pretty much out of it after I got wrecked at Pocono, and did all I could and managed to climb out of it. So felt bad for Kerfan getting killed. He had no luck all season, but yeah, it was. Didn't feel as bad when Micah got killed because he kind of killed me at Pocono. So
Now, Brett, the tire strategy worked out well in your favor because of the breed cautions at the end of this race. Take us through those last 2 laps. You and Mikey put on a classic there.
yeah, I learned from Kansas and not winning that race when I had way fresher tires, and I didn't screw the restart up. I knew if I was pushing him on the restart, I could stay with him. And I kind of started pushing his bumper, just making sure like I was right on him as he launched, and I kind of launched well with him. And then I was able to stay with him. And I knew if I started behind him, I'd get a big run off of turn 2 and have a chance at him. So I got a chance, and he tried to break the draft. I think that actually slowed him up a lot. And I was able to get to his inside, and then it was just, I wasn't going to wreck him. Don't want to win a race that way. I probably could have doored him off turn 4 on the last lap, but I didn't want to do that. And then I just drag racing the line. Hoped I maybe could get him, but he had the momentum up top, and he pinched me just enough on the tri-oval to pull ahead. But I mean, I'll take second. I probably wasn't the second best car in this race. I kind of got behind the 8 ball on lap 1. I took it 3 wide, and then kind of just ran out of space. It wasn't anybody's real fault. Just I think the third guy who was on the top didn't realize that we were 3 wide. And then I had the battle back the all race. So it was really just fun. I'm really just glad I was able to get through and do what I needed to do to advance.
Despite not feeling like though you had the best truck out there, Brett, you definitely were able to keep the truck fairly clean and take advantage of other guys' mistakes. So describe what that was like for you, taking mental note. Obviously, you were taking mental note of the cutoff throughout the race, what it was like for you looking around and seeing all your rivals that you needed to beat to advance being eliminated from contention one by one.
The one I really saw was Micah, because Micah was up ahead of me, and I knew like if I think he had a set of tires left too, because I knew he had stayed out at one of the cautions earlier where almost everybody took tires, and I knew he still had a set of tires left too, so he was basically in the same boat as me, and I knew like if we got even if we got a caution, it'd be difficult for me to get by him. I had gained some stage 1 by taking the tires and taking the stage points, but yeah, after that, I just was like, well, whatever happens, happens. And then I don't know if he messed up or if Dakota Knoll messed up, but he ends up I see him get hooked in the outside wall, and I was like, well, that works for me. So, that was good. And then as I said, I did everything I could all race just to maximize whatever options I had. I was going to play fuel strategy and try to save enough fuel to make it to the end when we got that caution. I don't know if that was my fault. If it was, I apologize to Matthew Stotts because I didn't mean to get into him when we got together. But yeah, from then on, it was just max on what I could. And then me and Mikey, I had that set of tires left. I didn't realize Mikey had a set left, but he was I just kind of was going to follow him through the field, and then got up to second. And then I was kind of hoping we weren't. I felt like I was going to get screwed when we got that last caution because me and Mikey had gapped out in front of the field, and I was gaining on him, but ended up working out. I was able to hold off on that restart in advance. So overall, good night.
And I'm sure you'll get that first win there. Brett, you're knocking on the door before you go. You got anybody you want to thank out there?
Yeah, I got to thank Joseph Strigley as always, a sponsor. Got to thank parents that they're watching, SBLD, me, Andrew, and Matt Steiner tonight. Shout out to Matt. He got a 8th place finish. I think it's his second straight top 10 here. I think he got a top 10 at Bristol as well. He's been doing really well. I'll rest SBLD, obviously Brian, Dawson, everybody who works with us. It's been a lot of fun. Looking forward to going to the next round, and maybe we can make something happen there. I think I'm definitely probably the worst driver to make it to the round of 7, but we'll keep trying to advance and try to do all we can to advance to the next round.
Awesome, Brett, and thank you very much. Congratulations on the second place finish and advancing to the round of 7.
Thank you.
And now let's turn it over back to you, Dawson, where you're going to be down in victory lane with our winner.
Let's see if we can hunt him down here for a second. I gotta get some stats put together real quick, and then we can get a hold of our driver that was victorious here tonight. There he is. Bring him on down here. That being the driver of the number 14 machine, Michael Kruger. It's been a while since we've talked to you as a winner. For a while, we had to talk to you, as a guy that finished maybe second or third, but finally breaking back through, getting that third win on the season. What's it like for you? The momentum now, hopefully, to carry over into this playoff run, advancing to the round of 7.
I mean, wow. I cannot believe that just happened, and just everything. That win, that was something that I've been kind of clawing at one to get that third win on the season. I feel like just this season I've just screwed up and made mistakes, or something happened I've done to take me out of getting another win, and I'm so thrilled to get it tonight. So it feels so good, especially in the playoffs. I really wanted that win to keep it stay hot in the playoffs, with how on edge and how difficult it is in the playoffs competing with these guys. I really just needed that win. Even though I was gonna move on to the next round, I just needed that win. I just wanted to add that win, and just really I just really wanted that, and I just cannot believe that I just wanted that way tonight.
Yeah, and you were able to get it. It came pretty close, though. I mean, it was right there at the line. It was just 1/100th, excuse me, of a second. So it was real close there at the end, but you were able to get it done. Um, you know, what was that race like coming to the line, seeing Brett there on the inside, maybe trying to make a run at you?
Well, thinking to the restart, I knew really in that situation Brett was gonna probably really see this as a grand opportunity to win, which, I mean, of course, I can't blame him. He had the same tires as I did. We both made it through the field, and on that restart, he restarted behind me, and when I saw him close on me and go to the bottom through 3 and 4 after the restart, I was like, "Oh no, this might not be good." And I really thought just I could really just stick it to the top. That's all I really could in those few laps, and all I could hope for is just to stay in it and not get loose or anything. And then, I mean, I just kept staying in it, and then coming to the white, he barely edged me, and I guess I just was really nervous he was going to dive it deep in the inside and get around me, and I just did not know at all if I was going to be able to carry the run off the corner to get him, with him having the advantage to cut the tri-oval. It just all happened so fast. I was just at that split second before we were crossing the line, I was just kept looking at my relative, am I ahead of him? Is he just barely ahead? I just had no idea if I was gonna win that thing at all. I didn't know. I just had no idea. I was just so lost for words for when when the scoring came, I edged him. I just could not believe it.
Well, at the end of the day, bring it home. Third win of the season, and your first win since all the way back earlier on. I want to say that last win came at Watkins Glen, all the way back. That was race number 6 of the season. It was the last time you found victory lane, but finally able to get back to it. Sponsors, teammates, shout-outs. Got that 14 machine to punch your ticket into the round of 7 with some flair with the win here tonight.
Well, I'd like to thank Cam for sponsoring me tonight with C2 graphics on the car. I'd like to thank him for having C2 graphics on it. I'd like to thank my teammates, Josh, ETB, Jake Locklear tonight, everyone at PBR and PPM for this win. And just you guys for commentating this joint, and the admins, Cam, Alonzo, for putting this up for us every Saturday or whenever it's race day. Gotta thank those guys. Really appreciate the work they do to make this league what it is now. And really, that's all I got.
Well, alrighty, that is your race winner here tonight, Michael Kruger, winner of the MartinPC.com 200. He's clinched his ticket already at the start of this race, but might as well go out and win it just as well. So, third win of the season. Let's see if he can get it done here in this round of 7. Congrats again, Mikey.
Thanks, Dawson.
All right, so with that, of course, there will be a reset in the points after the race. So here is how the points are going to re-rack and restack. So your current points leader will be Michael Kruger, currently up on 3,033 points. He currently sits 16 points above the cut line. So he is in a good spot as it stands right now. But then after that, it's an immediate drop-off from a 16-point gap to the cut line to a 1-point gap to the cut line. That belongs to Cameron Caldwell and Ethan Von Sagan Moreno, both tied atop the board at second. Then the battle for fourth, the final spot, it's a tie between Tristan Maher and Alonso Chicano. Those two drivers currently sit at 3,017 points. They are tied, the tiebreaker going to Maher for the wins on the season for having 3 compared to Alonso's 1. Then your drivers on the outside looking in a lot, besides Alonso, currently tied for that spot. Justin Duran down 3 points to the cutoff, and Brett Bennett comes into this one down 13 points. So we had an eventful race, to say the least. It was crazy, it was hectic, it was chaotic, but at the end of it all, we got a repeat winner here in Michael Kruger, and we've got a very interesting playoff battle here heading into the round of 7.
Yeah, it's a super close battle here into that round of 7, Dawson. And when we get to Kentucky next week, it's just completely going to flip-flop all the way down that leaderboard, I think. That stage is going to change a lot of dynamics, change a lot of strategies in that race just off of the points alone. And then we got 2 more weeks to decide what's going to happen with the remaining spots in that final 4. It's going to be a lot of fun to call the last 4 races here this season, and it's going to be a lot more what we had tonight. I think Ben and Dawson are just points racing all the way through.
Absolutely. It's going to, now that we're so narrowed down to 7 drivers now, there is no room for mistakes in the round of 7. If you make a mistake, it's gonna be very hard to come back from. Whereas you kind of with 10 drivers, you had some room to come back from mistakes. Not in this next round.
Yep, and it all comes down to this next round, starting up next week at Kentucky Speedway. It should be a good one there. Of course, Kentucky Speedway, my home track, my favorite track, but I will not be here next week, so oh well. But we had a great race here tonight in the MartinPC.com 200. Michael Kruger taking home that checkered flag this week on JCTV as the second round of the playoffs start for the In the Pits News Truck Series. The Slide Job Racing League this Tuesday night kicks off their playoff run at Michigan. As we'll see those 10 drivers that made the playoffs, they will do battle for 4 races, and then we'll cut it out to 4 drivers to settle it at Homestead in just a couple weeks' time. So keep your eyes on the Slide Job Racing League as their playoff battle heats up as well. The season winding down, just 5 races left for them. But on the flip side of that, we've got the Coast to Coast Cup Series coming up here on Thursday nights, getting into full gear in their season. This next week they go to Atlanta. Oh boy. So Atlanta Motor Speedway, October 5th. Of course, it's this Thursday here on JCTV for the Coast to Coast Cup Series. That should be an interesting watch. Of course, tune in at 8:30 Eastern on JCTV. And then, of course, next Saturday, we mentioned in the Pits News Truck Series coming to Kentucky Speedway, where you will see the stars do battle and kick off the round of 7. It's been a crazy, hectic, chaotic night. But we got ourselves a crazy race finish. Michael Kruger taking home the checkered flag. He is your winner tonight. We want to thank you for tuning in as always. For Ben Smith, Adam Kuhn, this is Dawson Allen signing off, saying so long and have a great rest of your night.